gonna bring this over here for now. Wait, where's the audio? Yes. Put your device above. So I'm gonna make sure that there. Ooh, okay. Wait, actually, no, not there.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna kill the first time, but when he missed, I kind of wrote it off. Wow.
How's the OBS looking, actually?
He's gonna upgrade for the kill! The most style on the biggest stage!
Okay. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped.
That's it.
Nothing stopped my hype now.
He thought he was gonna jump. And now he's Empire smash attack.
Froggy. Whoa! G7. Woo! Starting up. 120. That's what time it is. I'm so hyped. I'm so dang hyped. I'm so dang hyped. Woo! Okay, Zaro, Penguin, Blue, Windows, Cake Assault, and MSB. MSB is the one I'm hoping will win,
Rivals
but, you know,
Championship
knowing...
Series Season 4. The final 6 players remaining in bracket, and in just a few hours, we're going to find out which one of them is the last survivor. As you guys saw in those videos, this final day has never played out the way we've ever expected, and seeing more surprises, especially the way the bracket already shook out just yesterday. All the new faces making huge, powerful waves here. No clear leader across the entire year. Anything can truly happen here at the final day of Genesis 7. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at that bracket and see what exactly has happened, what the aftermath of the previous day is. Up there in the losers, we're going to have Zaro. Up there in the winners, we're going to have Zaro fighting Penguin in winners finals. Zaro on an incredible tear, beating both Windows and Cake Assault back-to-back. Now only one player left in the top 3 for him to take out to land in grand finals. But Penguin has always been a notorious gatekeeper, nearly indestructible to anybody but Cake Assault, his doubles partner, really. And down there in the losers, we have MSB making a record tear, making it past 13th, his cursed placing in Genesis. Going to be fighting against Cake Assault, who always enters Genesis loser side. And on the other end, Windows and Blue going to have to fight out in the raster mirror just after Windows took out his fellow Floridian, Matty Ice. It's going to be incredible to see how things turn out at the very end here.
Yeah, so we actually had in top 8, we had 4 raster players, but because of how the bracket played out, there's only 2 left. And they're going to have to fight each other, so we're going to see some bird-on-bird action.
That's by the burden.
And we also want to give a special shout-out to one of the main sponsors to make all of this possible, Juked.gg. They're putting together a whole new service where you can just check out their site and get everything you would need to get up-to-date on whatever major is currently happening or just happened. I'm talking about the bracket, the VODs, the Twitch links, everything you need. You don't need to spread out on Twitter, search random Google terms. You'll find it all here. And on top of that, they're doing a raffle right now where you can win a Nintendo Switch Lite. Sign up for a Juke account to enter. And guys, you definitely don't want to miss out on that because Rivals is on its way to the Switch soon too.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know it's been a while, but you know, we're still working on that. So yeah, stay tuned to the end when we'll see something a little special. But right now, the focus is on all the players, so we're going to kick it off to Broza.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How we doing out there, guys? Genesis, the beginning, a moment of creation, a chance to begin anew, and yet a moment of revelation.
My boy.
A chance to close shut the book of 2019, to close shut the book of the most recent RCS championship, and a chance to write the final chapter in the book of Rivals. 220 players have joined us in Oakland, California for the largest Rivals event of all time. And 6 players remain. Who will seize this opportunity to call themselves the best player in the world?
Come on, MSB. Come on, MSB.
Our first match from loser's side. Representing Nevermore International, the literal keyboard warrior and the #1 bronze medalist in the world, representing Tampa Gang, Windows.
Windows! Dude, Windows got that Windows experience right there. Let's go, let's go.
And his opponent,
Blue,
the
Arizona.
only player with an undefeated record on Cake Assault, your 2019 Heatwave champion, and the disciple of Menace 13. Give it up for Arizona's favorite son, Blue!
Blue! Like the sky today. It's not snowing, it's not raining, it's not dark, it's not cloudy, it's not thundery.
Last year at Genesis 6 and the winner's side. And back then it was a pretty close set. It was like down there to the wire, just like Graster Mirrors always are. This character being that glass cannon with such an incredible damage output as well as having so much mobility. But it was Windows that ended up prevailing back then, and they haven't met yet ever since then in bracket because, of course, opposite sides of the country and Blue tending to more show up to the grassroots events as opposed to the larger RCS major ones. That being said, I've noticed the change in Windows playstyle over this past year. Back then, it was really impulsive, looked hard for some really risky edge guards, and couldn't quite line them up on Windows. But now he's found that extra bit of chill, that perfect middle path between aggression and passiveness, and that's like the one true way, right? Not too patient, not too aggro, and with that change, this is an entirely new matchup, and he might be able to take Windows out and avenge himself for the last year. And they're already starting out with Wildness right here on Tower of Heaven, and Windows starting out with a strong combo, pushing Blue off the side of the stage.
Boy,
yeah, the big thing for Blue that we've always watched over the years is his punish game is kind of notorious as the raster player, and Windows, on the other hand, is kind of the opposite, where his neutral has always been what he's been known for.
Right, yeah, Windows being that player who will get that lead and then leverage the ability for the bird to stalk the skies and bait you out to try to follow him. But the thing is, Blue is able to fly too and chase him up to the top and find that first stock. Windows, though, jumping down from the platform and looking immediately to even up the stocks.
Like you said, Raster is a glass cannon, and that stock ended very quickly, less than 30 seconds.
We've seen a lot of really quick games here this weekend. I've seen, I think, 4 different games ended in less than 52 seconds.
Sorry about any of that.
Yeah, there is some matches. Go check out the VODs from Friday and Saturday, but there were some matches that, went way faster than I ever expected.
Great, Raster.
Windows actually pouncing on Blue, being stuck in the corner.
Oh, nice.
Brilliant parry on the slipstream. That is huge. That line you see across the screen makes Raster move at such a faster speed, finding way more follow-ups than he would otherwise. And this being the mirror, they both benefit from the slipstreams.
Yeah, they benefit from each other's, which means they can kind of cover the whole stage if one of them does the high and one does the low.
Oh my god.
It's Blue's opportunity. Tries to hunt down an edge guard and he doesn't find it. We have only 20% separating these two players. Honestly, this is an even game because they can both kill with a smash attack.
Yep. And there we saw a change over the past year where Blue's slipstream was actually hit by Windows hitbox, and that prevents it from coming out.
Let's go.
Very important to limit his follow-up options.
Nice.
Seeing both of these players leap out so desperate to line up one of these strong attacks, and that's kind of one of the signature things about Raster that makes him so unique across platform fighters. He's the only character that only has smash attacks in the air, nothing on the ground. He's gonna find himself a beautiful sweet spot on that up special, and Windows takes the slimmest of leads, looking to just hopefully get Blue to do something unsafe.
I'm a sports fan.
That's another thing about Windows. We mentioned how passive he is as a player, but that only works because his reaction time is unreal. He sees the intro frames of an attack and instantly knows whether or not he can get there in time to punish it.
Yeah, I think being on keyboard too is kind of part of his playstyle because his reaction always seems to be like next level when it comes to knowing the right thing to do.
Did he whip that back air on purpose? Because the parry was just shy of it, and immediately afterwards, Windows found something more. But it is Windows about to lose his second stock. Blue at 79%. He can't really afford to get hit. He might die. No, DIing correctly there.
Yeah, even with the high percent, though, in this matchup, just one combo, he can end it. So he's not out yet.
So hyped.
Windows stalking the sky. Once again, Blue getting out of range, and we're actually getting near those awkward percents. Not going to find the next nair. Blue
nair, almost ending this match.
We're at that, close to that awkward percent for Blue. And Windows getting out of the way, and Blue just flying off the side of the stage and into his death.
I thought for sure Blue had just won that match.
I thought so too. I think Blue thought so too.
That was
I saw Windows with like a little sigh of relief. Like, I got out of the way, and Blue just kept on trucking.
I could have swore I even heard like the sound effect of the attack landing. Like it seemed for sure that was a Blue victory, but instead Windows comes out up 1-0.
Yeah, and that ends up being kind of fortunate for Windows because we mentioned how light Raster is, and that actually does make the Raster mirror a little bit challenging as the percents rack up. Because he's so light, he can actually start falling out of confirms at a certain point too, and then at that point, you have to line up a smash attack in the air against one of the most mobile air characters in the game.
Yeah, you'll see once they start falling out of combos, I think the playstyle gets a little more defensive. Parries become
nice,
huge, and parries a
nice.
guaranteed KO on Raster because he can use his up special to finish you off.
Or they just start looking for the whiff that they can punish that we saw Windows do on the second stock in the previous game.
Yeah, with the tornado, Blue had to land eventually, and Windows just got in there and finished it out.
I was gonna make a joke, but I missed.
Windows diving in on Blue, evening up these percents. Oh man, but being a fellow Raster, I mean, Blue knows those moments he can get away, those moments he's allowed to talk and just sprinkle in an air dodge or a jump.
Left corner of the Windows.
Great tech to forward air there.
Yeah, beautiful.
A lot of Rivals players have gotten so good at just punishing techs because they know that's your only option.
That Sonic Boom, really crazy stuff. That's another side effect of the slipstream. With Raster dash attacks with the slipstream off a platform, that hitbox stays active as he flies off and he's able to find confirms on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, it's a big piece of Raster's movement.
Oh, this is a huge moment.
See, like you said, way too much damage. Normally forward air sets up into some kind of follow-up, but at this percent, even down tilt, there's no chance of a follow-up because they're just able to DI out.
And it looks like, oh yes, so Windows is using his presence. He's essentially doing a 50-50 on Blue, being under him and asking Blue, am I going to hit you right now and kill you, or am I waiting for you to air dodge and try to escape and punishing you for it? Windows sneaks his way back on, and beautiful escape, getting away from that next clap.
That isn't
and now here comes more damage. Blue, though, with a big opportunity.
Wow.
Yep, not going to mess up that parry punish.
I would have dropped that parry punish for sure. It's so hard sometimes right on the platforms to like get what you want.
I mean, Dan, that's why we're up here.
Yeah, this is true. I'm drowned in pools.
Oh, Blue carrying across and lining up the clap. Perfect DI by Windows. You guys have noticed probably that the screen turns purple every now and then. That is an indicator that no DI can save you, whereas a large spark means no DI will kill you, but there is a way to stay alive.
This is so tense. Oh,
right there we see the strong attacks on Raster in the air actually do have a lot of recovery.
Yeah, and Blue's not able to make it to the side of the stage and make his way back up. Another SD, but he finds himself the next up strong, evens it up just only 12% on Blue, and now he's paying the favor to Windows.
Oh my god.
This combo.
Like, Windows so fearless to just answer back mid-combo string with his own attacks. He essentially hijacks some of these combos and makes it his own combo. Oh, catching the air dodge.
That clap. Already with no DI, that would have just KO'd.
Ooh, Blue this time with punishing, not able to follow up afterwards though.
Windows is gonna get another game if Blue isn't.
Windows coming in with so much more pressure, and I think a big part of that is he recognizes his usual game plan will not work on Blue because Blue can chase him.
Right here, gets him off stage.
No air elements yet.
Beautiful wait.
I'm gonna wait for the
end has another opportunity.
I'm gonna grab that at least.
Tries to fish out with that air quickly.
Air dodge was huge.
Yeah, you can't dodge punish it. Oop. He takes his time at the top. So much pressure now at these percents. It's
like
really,
we said, they're playing a lot more defensive here.
Oh god.
It's really a matter of who can not just keep tapping the other one, but line up that next strong attack. Blue looking, Windows looking for that down strong off stage for the spike, doesn't get it.
Hit it.
So the next up special, the next clap. Unless forward air will finally kill Blue, he's at 180%. He might die to one of these neutral tools.
Oh my gosh, all of these almost killing him.
I think that's literally what Windows is banking on right now. He's like, I can just neutral you to death. I don't need to finish. But Blue is fine going for it. He finds the sour hit of the up special, just getting the very tip of the top arc and taking it there. Blue
Arizona
has that little bit of that gambling streak in him. Even now, even though he has that little bit of chill, he still has that Arizona heat as well.
That was looking like some 2015 Rivals. I haven't seen the non-sweet spot of up special kill in a very long time, but Blue there. And I know people on the chat will be like, no, it happens all the time. It's definitely rare to see it at this high stage.
Also, the other thing I want to point out is the stage choice here, right? Windows being that slower, more methodical, wanting to just win out in neutral over time, opting for Fire Capital, one of the largest blast zone stages in the game. This is something we saw when he was fighting Matty Ice yesterday. Matty Ice, being the aggressor, would want to go to the smallest blast zones available, and Windows wanted to go to the largest ones. And I think we'll see a similar dynamic here between him and Blue as we keep going.
Blue,
the interesting thing about Raster, though, when it comes to having big stages is the fact that he combos into kills so much. A lot of times it doesn't even matter, because if he gets you up high and then hits you with an up strong, even the high blast zone, it won't save you. But the space does give him a lot more room to play neutral.
Especially considering how these stocks are slowly evolving, right? Where it does become those last hit fests. These two players so proficient at Raster's combo tree, they become that much harder for them to combo each other. So they're forced to look for things like that, just up air into up air to kill. At, what was it, 140% on like the lightest character in the game?
Yeah, they've been showing off like early into each stock. The combos are flowing, and then they definitely start to play.
Yeah, Raster's
a lot more defensive, a lot more deliberate.
Oh, Blue coming down this time with an attack early to catch the interception attempt by Windows, but Windows hijacks it, takes the second stock. Windows up 3-1 now. Oh, the second hit in there, but beautiful DI still from Windows at 145%.
Yeah, just can't seem to get this stock closed out. That wave land was so nice.
It was nice, and then Blue
still,
Blue still chased it down anyway. That's how ready he was. He finally finds himself that kill. It seems like this weird karmic justice that like Raster is forced to endure such a long, painful life against himself, when ordinarily his suffering is quick and painless. Blue having another chance here. Waiting for Windows to try to get off that platform, gets impatient, and Windows snatches up that opportunity to escape and get a couple hits.
Oh, he jazz that in, and you cannot do that on Raster.
Yeah, I think he tried to go up, but can't hit that diagonal perfectly, and now Windows on his last stock. This is possible for Blue. We have seen him do some insane things off of a single hit. Looking for the escort, almost dies off the side, and this is the opportunity for Windows.
Windows gets it. Actually was able to connect that with, because he had the current already out.
Yeah. And that was, again, Windows turning the situation against Blue, where Blue extended a little bit too far. Windows escapes the combo, and because Blue expended a few jumps to start that combo to begin with, Windows has everything he needs then to clean up the rest of that stock. We get the Tower of Heaven front back now by Blue. I mean, technically, Windows can't go here yet because he won, but Blue's completely welcome to counterpick here, and this is now Windows only one game away from taking out Blue, one of these scariest players in a field of terrifying ones.
Yeah, I think a lot of the other players in the top 6 are watching this carefully. I mean, they're scared of both of them, but Blue's punish game has just been so on point in the last couple of tournaments.
Oh, I literally asked Cake, like, what's your plan if you fight Blue? And he says, well, I think I'm just gonna cry. Like.
Yeah, at Heatwave, Blue kind of showed how dominant his Raster can be when he's playing well.
No. And just like that, a flash of what Blue does to everybody else on the field. Only 36% on him, and a parry early on Windows.
This is so sick.
He just has to just wait and guess what resources Windows is going to choose to use on his way down, and then sometimes Windows comes down swinging.
Yeah, they've both done a really good job of mixing up their landings to kind of take the advantage away from the lower player.
Ooh, finding those spikes.
Oh, nice.
But none of them on stage. Great DI by Blue and turning the situation around.
Yeah, almost just takes the stock right there with the down air forward strong.
What a lag.
Windows relentless with those up airs. It's so interesting to see this style from Windows where he's just swinging without even being given an invitation of a whiff. There we go. There's their whip down tilt that we're used to seeing him punish, and gets that next forward strong. The tiniest lead for Windows.
Come on. Just hit him. Just kill Windows. Just take him out.
Waiting to see if Windows will make his way down, but Windows love the sky.
Oh, God.
Would rather roost than land on the ground.
Oh, God, that's 52%.
That's 58, 63. This is in that prime combo percent into claps with the right DI chase.
Right there, we just saw the big difference between the two players. Windows had a big combo going up high and just kind of let it go and come back to stage. Blue would have definitely went to finish it.
Oh, nice. Yes!
And there, Blue with the
yes,
parry. I guess Windows had his last stock.
Yeah, this potentially it could be his tournament stock. He might be going home here at 5th place if he doesn't find a way to kill Windows now, but he does. He stays in the bracket alive for one more game.
Let's go.
2-2 apiece in the two of them. Raster mirrors always end up this way. It's always a nail biter. This character, a complete stress ball to just to watch. I can't breathe whenever I see Raster on the screen.
So normally when you would see like a Ditto matchup, the stage it kind of falls away, but because like we discussed, the two players have a pretty different style, stage becomes really important. The stage choice is huge because Windows wants as much space as he can to operate, and Blue wants to close that distance.
It's not only as much space, but as much like chances to make mistakes, right? Because if you have a huge blast zone, Windows is confident, I'm going to win neutral more often, and the large blast zone will favor that because we're going to sample more and more interactions, and I'll come out on top. And that's why we're having Ethereal Gates, the other massive blast zone stage, because he can't go back to Fire Capital.
It's kind of cool, but I'm like, I want the blue. The bottom
Windows
left
waiting for the
corner of
parry.
Windows.
Looking to just try to tack on whatever safe damage you can, like you pointed out, Dan. Windows knows exactly when the risk is too great and retreats back to stage.
Oh god, stop lagging. Genesis, what are you doing?
Oh, getting parried. This is a big opportunity. And Windows can't DI that. Blue taking the first stock.
So the purple takes everything into account. So sometimes, even if you DI perfectly, if you don't ASDI down, you can still die off the top.
Oh my god. That's one of those quirks about Rivals, because each stick can DI. One is SDI, one is regular DI. You can SDI and DI in different directions, allowing you to survive in even new ways.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where I'm playing where I'm like, I DI'd correctly, and Trevor's like, did you ASDI? I'm like, you know I know.
And even though Windows is behind, we're still seeing him so careful about what his openings are, because he knows if he messes up, Blue can take this next stock too. It's gonna go side to side, Sonic booming from platform to platform, and he finds his opening. 70% though on him. Boom. This is still within the possibility. Yeah, Blue can get something big. Beautiful DI though by Windows, going far out.
Wow, manages to dodge the
This is
punish.
so tense. Oh god. Oh, the neutral game. The neutral game.
Finding a few hits.
Ooh.
Windows doing a great job bringing this back.
Yeah, we have already 61%, but
Blue turns it around. He was out of all resources. He air dodged already.
Yeah, and
still got a KO out of that.
He made his recovery and kill option the same thing. Now Blue only has to take out one more stock to stay in this bracket and to make it to losers semis. But at 91%, and knowing these two characters, we can never sleep on Raster's ability to get the kill. But Blue stays alive into that second Sonic Boom attempt.
Come on, Blue, come on, Blue, come on, Blue. I'm like bingo board, bingo board, yep, bingo board.
Using such beautiful movement, juking out of the way of Windows' aggression, finally finding these moments where he knows that Windows is looking for the aggression right there. Windows dashing forward and getting caught out of it by Blue.
That fastball down air was so sneaky.
There we go. Not going to line up the next clap either. Another chance. Yes.
That's enough. Ooh,
using the current to get the up strong.
Just one stock left between these two players.
Oh, that's close.
That air dodge.
Can Windows win a second time in a row against Blue?
Come on, Blue. Come on. Blue.
Can he put up the damage? Beautiful wait for the parry on the platform. Can't get much more off of it. And Blue charging up the strong. Can't kill. Just barely.
My boy.
Windows using everything he's got to stall out, waiting for that parry to punish. And going in immediately after seeing the slipstream. Windows looking to finish off Blue's life. Waits for the tornado, lines up the clap, and takes it. Windows moving on to loser semis, taking out both Rasters back-to-back, Matty Ice and Blue. A fantastic showing from the master of the Raster mirror himself. Windows en route to at least get that bronze medal, but he's looking like he's feeling really good today, being able to take out one of the most terrifying players. If you look at Blue's record, man, almost nothing stops him.
Yeah, right there, Windows just clutching it out. That down air, honestly, was huge for him to be able to kind of turn the momentum around, forcing Blue to have to recover without any resources.
Yeah, Blue was just a floating duck in the air right above Windows' Raster, and from there, Windows knew exactly what to do to guarantee the kill. Amazing stuff to start off this top 6 with.
That was amazing.
And I can't wait to see what more of our competitors have to bring to the table. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at some of the highlights of that set to just remind us of a lot of the big moments, the huge players. We started out game 1 on Tower of Heaven, and we had Blue looking pretty good in the beginning, but he did SD right there, overextending on that final combo. That kind of set the tone. That gave Windows that counter pick advantage, but Blue found that blast from the past, the sour hit up special to take that second game. But here on Fire Capital, Windows managed to take it all away too with that strong up air into up strong.
A lot of these clips look really similar in that it's Blue kind of overextending or extending for a kill. Half the time he gets it, and the other half of the time he misses it, and that results in him losing the stock.
I mean, that's kind of like the spirit of Rivals too. That's why I love Blue as a player. Rivals has so much of that ride or die energy. Can you pull it all together at that important clutch final moment? But of course, you know, only one person gets to move on every single time. As amazing as everyone is, we just have to keep on rolling, have to keep, unfortunately, faces bowing out, but people keep climbing slightly higher to that $17,000 pot total here. The grand prize being something incredible, absolutely. But we're going to go ahead and pass on to Broza and get to meet our next two players.
Oh boy, who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got?
And, you know, we're going to get to see, you know, Cake Assault and MSB, a matchup of two veterans. But we'll see what they got.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot different than two Rasters, but I'm excited to see what they have to show us today here.
What do we got here?
And I see, yeah, we got the Crag versus Forsberg. Yeah.
Yeah, so these two honestly have played a lot throughout the years. MSB is probably one of the players that's been to the most events, like Rivals Locals, of anyone. Penguin kind of has a flawless record in that he's attended so many over the past 2 years, but MSB hasn't beat because he started playing during early access. So his Crag has always been a threat, but at Genesis, he always seemed to fall a little bit short, always kind of being seeded well, but then getting around 13th.
Yeah.
So this time, he finally broke through. I think it's one of those where his expectations were no longer so lofty, and he finally was able to get the bracket he needed and put the performances he needed in order to get here on this stage.
Yeah, like speaking of those expectations, the tradition that MSB has is that top 8 jacket, right? He always wants to make sure a Crag in top 8 has it. And he was telling me, like, while packing for it, he's like, I don't really have room for this. I'm not going to bring a second bag for it. I'll leave it at home, right? Like, he was just like, I'm going to play my best, like, absolutely. But he wasn't gambling on it himself, right? He wasn't going to bring that second bag, and here he is. And that's kind of the benefit of when you go in ready for whatever happens with that clear head, you can exceed so many more expectations than when you have them too high. But we're going to go ahead and go to Broza.
I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped.
Our next losers match features two veteran players. Introducing first, the man who taught Crag to fly, showing that he's still got it, Brooklyn's own MSB!
Woo! My boy. Give me a sec, give me a sec.
And his opponent, the #1 overall seed and the reigning and defending #1 player in the world, Nevermore International, Cake Assault!
MSB. MSB.
G-Pick,
MSB.
Dan,
MSB.
take it away.
All right, thanks, Broza. And as you all, Cake and MSB are getting ready to kick it off. So one of the interesting things about Genesis is each year there's kind of like a favorite, a player who's just been tearing up the year. Generally does not win the actual Genesis tournament. So I guess the first year it's arguable. You could say Full Stream at G4 was the favorite. I think he might have been the #1 seed, but Ralph was what a lot of people were picking to kind of come in. He was the, during early access, Ralph was definitely the best player in the rival scene, and Full Stream was able to take that event over Ralph, who I think got 5th. And then the following year, Full Stream just going on a tear, but Cake Assault with the upset in the huge Forsberg versus Ori matchup that we saw. Next year, Cake Assault coming in, he replaced Full Stream. He became the #1, just had an amazing run of tournaments. And then Full Stream, the veteran, surprised everyone and was able to take that. So this tournament is interesting in that there isn't like a clear #1 like there had been the past years. I think both Penguin and Cake, and even Blue, honestly, after his showing at Heatwave, all had a claim to be the scariest player. But instead, we have Cake and Blue are in losers. We got Zaro on Orcane, surprising everyone. And Penguin still being the consistent player that he is, sitting in winners finals.
Yeah, it's almost cursed to have that #1 seed here at Genesis, right?
It really is.
But the thing that we always have to also remember is Cake Assault, even though he has an incredible season so far. What? There into back air? That was less than 5 seconds. What happened?
That doesn't kill.
MSB, you played this game for years.
I think just starting out, he caught him. I mean, it wasn't purple, but it was enough.
So one thing to know about these two players specifically is their matchup history is rather lopsided. I don't think MSB has ever taken a set off of Cake Assault online or offline.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is going to be extremely challenging for him, like a very tough first opponent to get past it. We're definitely seeing why. Relentless aggression coming out from Cake Assault on these edge guards. Yes. Already, MSB at 144% on his second stock, and Cake Assault is not slowing down.
Yeah, Loser's Day, Cake Assault is kind of the most terrifying thing ever.
Yeah, it's the reason why it's hard to beat him in grand finals too, because you take the first set and then you put him into losers, and then in the second set you have to fight Loser's Cake anyway.
Yeah.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Upstrong doesn't kill him.
Yes.
Beautiful coverage of that Upstrong again, but he's not able to take out the real Forsburn, the sour hit, not sending in the right angle.
Gonna take
and you have those decoys, Forsburn, that deception character, being able to spread that smoke around, become completely hidden, and then have that decoy. He's like a jungler from a MOBA, where he keeps you distracted somewhere, and then he just ganks you.
Yeah, going into Rowell's development, I was probably most excited about trying out Orkane's moveset, but after the development and how long we've been on it, I think I'm most proud of how Forsburn turned out.
And that you see like that, what the clone does, even though it's obvious sometimes which one's real and which one's the clone, MSB still needs to kill the clone because Cake Assault can detonate it at any moment and then confirm off of that detonation hitbox.
Yeah, and he has the ability to be even sneaker if he wants. If you hit side special again while the clone's out, the clone will actually start evading the opponent instead of approaching. And you can use that to really mix up.
Ooh, and there we go, the back air into down air and a 3-stock by Cake Assault.
Okay.
Starting off this Genesis stage very strong.
I mean, they've had sets where Cake Assault has literally 8-stocked MSB. This is, let's make no mistake here, MSB is the absolute underdog in this matchup.
Come on, MSB, come on.
Yeah, MSB is the veteran and has been doing this with Crag for a very long time, but like you said, Cake has kind of always been.
We're going to get Spirit Tree as the counter pick. This is extremely surprising. Like I mentioned, the more aggressive players tend to love this stage, and Cake Assault having so much confidence in his punish game. I've seen him actually have 50-second games here against some of the best players in the world.
Me personally, I picked this stage just because I love the music from Ori and the Blind Forest.
I mean, Flashy Goodness did kill it. Like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, and it just looks beautiful, too. But I play terribly on this one.
So far, though, MSB, wow, lining up that down special into the Upstrong. Trying to clear the smoke with the boulder. I really like that. He's also breaking it for that shotgun effect, because that's so important. You can't let Forsburn have that smoke around, because not only is spacing against him impossible, he can also maybe start eating it and build up his combust.
Yeah, MSB doing a lot better job this game of playing defensive and racking up the damage.
Yes.
Especially, I mean, he didn't tie to down air, back air like instantly.
Yeah, that's a plus. That's a step up.
Ooh, Cake Assault sneaking by. Setting up the clone. A beautiful parry coming out by MSB. There's no telegraph on that. He just knew the moment.
Yeah, you not see clone explosion parry very much just because it's so easy to mix up. The clone actually, when it gets close, it kind of runs back and forth around you. So it's up to Forsburn to detonate it. It can make it very difficult to parry consistently. So a lot of players just don't even try.
Here we go. I love that MSB going with the wave dash down to bait out the parry. Doesn't find the punish though.
No. Okay.
Cake Assault still looking for this kill. Crag living. I mean, we know Crag lives for a while, but this is still Spirit Tree. This is such a small stage. But he's doing such a good job avoiding so many kills, but finally, Cake Assault finding that down strong, popping MSB off the top.
That's still pretty good.
Right here, setting up smoke to kind of give him space to move.
Eat the cake. Eat the cake.
A big string coming out from Cake Assault. And just juggling his own boulder, MSB waiting for the right moment to toss it and clear up this bit of defensive smoke hassle that Forsburn is constructing.
Oh, God. Terrified.
Oh, beautiful moment recognition by Cake Assault, knowing what exactly was going to happen there and cornering MSB in the corner of his platform.
Yeah, really swung the momentum of this match around. It was looking all MSB for a while, and now all of a sudden Cake has the lead.
Ooh, looking again for another parry bait, but Cake Assault's wise to it. He's not falling for it. And now he's getting himself a solid 65, keeping it rolling back-to-back on Spirit Tree, catching the tech in place. Cake Assault getting 100% off of a single string.
Come on. I know it's a crit. I mean...
Ooh, catching both of them.
Nice setup by MSB.
What a great ping pong of the boulder. But I mean, he's of course now MSB 138%. Barely finding his way back on stage, outspacing the down strong. But there we go.
That will do it.
Okay, yeah, catching the down tilt. Parry. Cake Assault not looking nearly as dominant, but still a JV2 stock.
Yeah, he swung the momentum when he needed to.
Yeah. But MSB only has one more game left, right? If he loses one more time, it's down to out of 5th place for him.
Please not a 3-0.
He's going to need to really dig deep if he's going to be able to stop Cake Assault, reverse 3-0, and, you know, make it on further into this bracket. And, I mean, I don't know. After all their past sets, no matter how well MSB is feeling, this is still his biggest mountain to climb.
Yeah, I think in the last game he shows that he can put it together. He kind of felt like he had all the momentum. The big thing is just not letting Cake get those big plays.
Oh. Oh my gosh, the relentlessness of Cake Assault and just deleting MSB's first stock once again. It looks like Cake Assault is perfectly fine here on Rock Wall with these tiny side blast zones.
Oh, he goes up for the pillar. He's just feeling very confident.
No.
Lining up the back here, waiting for the parry. Doesn't get the poke hit on MSB, but it doesn't matter. MSB cannot leave the corner of the stage. Cake Assault bullying him over and over again to the right blast zone. What was that? Okay, the pillar stops the spike from killing, but he's still able to keep chasing. Cake Assault getting 130%, nearly taking 2 stocks in 1 minute.
I'm the spectator, and I'm confused what happened there. Did the clone get a pillar gift and then not die? Did like wall jump?
I think so.
I think so, because I think Cake came down with a down air. So there's no way, unless he wall jumped down there, I have no idea what happened. It was so fast.
Here we go, though. MSB on his last stock. Cake Assault at 94%. Oh! The pillar gimp, not quite gonna work, though. Cake Assault able to get away with it. If an enemy character is standing on the pillar and Crag chooses to destroy it, they go into free fall immediately. And so it makes chasing Crag off stage a little bit risky.
Yeah, when it's close to the wall, it's not too bad because you can wall jump out of that free fall.
We got full combust on Cake Assault, and he's waiting on the ledge, and he just gets the spike, but the pillar not gonna save MSB. He needed to tech there. That was a do or die situation. But man, being able to correctly time that in such a tense situation, especially not being sure whether or not Cake would even go for that combust, right? Because if you try to guess that he's going to do it and you're wrong, then man, you're in a world of hurt anyway.
Yeah, Cake's combo game was just looking too strong against MSB there. I honestly thought when it came down to neutral and the interactions that MSB was doing a great job in trading with Cake. But then when it came to the punish games, Cake just seemed somehow to be able to delete stocks even when MSB didn't have any damage racked up. Yeah. We saw him do that in both Game 1 and Game 3, just kind of getting rid of the stock right at the side blast zone.
Just those corner to corner to corner to corner combos that he was able to get. Crag being one of the heaviest characters in the game. Yeah, we expect him to take a bit of punishment, but Cake Assault really took it to the next level. Look at just that start. Nair, jump back air, 5 seconds, and MSB just laughing at what just happened there. But that's what we come to expect from Cake Assault, that falling sour hit back air.
That was really cool too.
Yeah, just if you want to see some of the finest combo games, you can always count on a Cake Assault highlight to deliver, man.
And this down air, he went off so far. We almost saw a blue moment. If he had missed that down air, he would have drifted completely off stage. So yeah, Cake Assault just showing how confident he's feeling right now. I also love the play where when MSB was trying to get back, Cake just went to up special to the platform because MSB knows that Cake had to up special to get back. He might delay, like pull a rock or something. And Cake was like, no, I'm just going to go out there. If you stay on the pillar, I'm going to come get you.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like Crag is serving himself up on a silver platter, you know, just you're going to eat up at the moment he lands on it because he has to do that superhero landing at first, and that's where you can really dive in. And Cake completely exploited that. But guys, we're going to have so much more fantastic action to come, but we're going to take a quick break to catch our breaths. Don't go anywhere. The best is yet to come.
Oh, it's back, yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, live from Oakland, California. It is time for Rivals Top 4, and it is definitely a pleasure to be here with these amazing guys. Thank you so much, guys. From the crowd, we have G-Pick and Dan in the building, and 17K on the line. And it's a pleasure, of course, to be here with all you guys. And now, going into the winners finals of this tournament, I have to say, man, some of the stories that are going into this tournament are quite interesting. We have the best player in the losers bracket right now, and yet we have 2 different players. One of them who plays a character that actually is a zoner, but is quite the rushdown monster in Penguin.
Yeah, so Penguin is good at doing both. He has always been kind of like our gatekeeper player in that it is very difficult unless your name is Cake or Windows to even compete with Penguin, let alone take a game. So him in Winners Finals is not a surprise to a lot of people. What is a surprise is the opposite side. We have Zaro playing Orcane, who has already beat 2 of the top 3 players to get to this point. And now let's have Broza kick it off for this matchup.
And now, on winner's side,
We got an Orcane?
a player
have
who
an
has been
Orcane.
fighting time and time again to claim the #1 ranking in the world. Give it up for #2 seed, Penguin.
Ooh. Pengueno. Pengueno.
And his opponent in his first ever appearance in the winners finals of an RCS event, from online to offline, taking names. Give it up for Zorro.
Yes. Also, by the way,
Dan, G-Pick, D1, take it away.
Let's get it. All right, guys, here at the RCS, of
by the
course,
way,
we're
Penguin.
again in the women's finals. And
I have a bias
we have these
against
two players
Penguin,
right
not
now,
on, not towards,
going at it. And I
against,
wanted to ask
because
you, of course,
he
going
stopped us
into this
from
match,
getting NYC
how do you
Crag.
guys feel that the match will go?
So this is really exciting because Zaro and Penguin
so
haven't
hyped right
fought each
now.
other
Oh my
at all
goodness,
this year,
yes.
online or offline. But Zaro, in order to make it here, had to take out Windows and Cake Assault. Windows, Cake Assault, Penguin, that's the famous top 3, right? To do 2 of them back to back and then have to fight Penguin right next. Like, if he takes out Penguin, what an incredible statement to make, that anybody, no matter who you are, if you practice enough at home, online, you can go against the best and the best and come out on top.
I kind of look up to Zaro slightly.
Like Rosa alluded to,
I more look up
like
to
Dan alluded to,
MSB,
Penguin
my MSB
is
boy.
that gatekeeper. It is
My
so
MSB
hard
boy.
to get past him. I think he's missed only, what, 1 grand finals in the past about 2 years or so,
Yeah.
which was at Heatwave 3. Unless it was that one, he's made first or second at everything else.
Yeah, and the big thing with Penguin, I think with the other matchups, especially in winners side, there always tends to be, when Cake Assault does really well to tournament, he seems to always be in
hyped right now.
losers. There's always kind of an upset
Yes.
in winners. So having Zaro take out Cake in winners, and he actually did that at Big House as well.
Yeah.
He was able to knock Cake Assault into losers. Isn't as surprising, but to knock out Penguin out of winners side is a lot bigger challenge. And let's see if Zaro can put it all together.
Already, Penguin coming in with fierce aggression here on Jules Vale. This is a stage with a lot of combo potential, especially with that moving platform going side to side. And the real question here is going to have to do with the weight difference between Absa and Orcane. Absa being one of those featherweight characters can eat a whole lot of knockback, especially from that down strong by Orcane. What we're probably going to see here is a lot of slow pecs by Zaro, sticking close to Penguin, and the moment he sees Penguin a little bit over 70%, hunting for those down smashes. But of course, Penguin with those forward airs is going to be able to make sweet spot into sweet spot, escorting Zaro to the far
Zaro's
blast
being
zone.
sick right now. Okay, nice,
Yeah,
nice,
right now,
nice,
Zara
nice,
is
nice.
just absolutely quick bowler for the decision right there.
Yes.
Amazing KO right there that we saw from the Arcane.
Getting
My
that
boy.
first blood off of that
Okay,
parry,
yeah,
and
I
that's
like
the
Zaro.
danger
Zaro's
here.
already
Orcane
showing
has
up. I
so
love
much
him.
kill power
He's
off
so
his up
fun
air,
already.
his up strong, and his down strong. It's something that Penguin's going to need to constantly stay aware of no matter how much damage he's racking on.
And parry is really big in this
I
matchup.
like
It's something we
this
see
guy
when
a
Cake
lot
is playing well
already. I mean,
against
sure,
Penguin.
he's
He kind of
getting
uses the
clouded out
parry
right now,
because
but
Penguin's always doing
it's
something.
like any
He's always
other
moving. He's
player
always
against
bringing out
good
clouds. He's always up specialing.
He's getting clouded out.
How and catching
Dang
him
it.
with the
Ooh,
Thunder
okay,
line. That is the main
48%
core of
lead, though.
Absa's gameplay. Is it looks like a little Penguin Hell because it's
Okay,
Penguin
nice,
skin,
nice,
and that
nice.
has so much zone control. Absa can pop it for a quick hitbox or hold it and create a line of thunder between it and Absa anywhere on the stage.
It almost looks like really difficult too for Zaro to just get his momentum going, especially against
Murder.
the likes of Penguin, who even from mid-range, right, he has a lot of great
Yes.
touchdown tools. As you can
Seeing
see right
Zaro
there.
though
Nope.
slowly die back
Nope.
onto the stage, but
Okay.
these up airs are getting stronger and stronger. I don't think Zaro's going to be able to survive the next one, and Penguin's doing such a great job juggling. You see him slowly wait out the different air resources that Zaro has with these little cloud pops and up tilts, and catching the puddle right there with his up strong. That is the one recovery path that Zaro really has, and he needs to make sure he's on the other side of the blast zone, and the whiff punish
That was
coming from
sicker than
Zaro,
if he
evening
actually
it up
landed
to
the
one stock
first
apiece.
The miss punish into the punish.
Yeah.
And that's what having like that fast and down strong
Yes.
does for you on Orchid. They could kind of sneak away.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Juggles right here
down smash
again.
on Orcane is actually just frame
Ooh,
7.
Zaro just barely staying out of range.
Kind of
Penguin is
amazing.
expecting the teleport to land on him. He was trying to parry
Yes.
it and set up another punish.
You're not hitting that.
Zaro
Not
staying
there.
back. We're starting to see parries
Yes.
come out from him as well. He recognizes that Penguin's at that 81%. This is kill percent for Arcane.
Yes!
Finds himself the
Those
forward
are
strong.
Four strong rather.
Center stage, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of center stage, you can see Zaro right now is doing such
Yes!
an amazing job holding it down right there,
My
but
boy!
getting that first game.
That's huge. That is huge to go up one
Out of water again.
on Penguin.
And that being said, when we do see Penguin play, it's not that he just sweeps through everybody, right? There's always that first game where things are a little bit shaky. It's the games 2 through 4 where he starts to see how well you really have it. I've seen Penguin get 3 stocked game 1 and then still win the next 3 games in a row.
Have
We're going to be going here to Endless Abyss. Absolutely no platforms here. Just a straightforward stage to catch landings, which is really what Penguin was trying to capitalize on the most against Zaro in that previous game. But there's still the fact of the kill percents and avoiding those downstrongs. With no platforms to reset quick attack, we might see Penguin have no chance to escape against the sliding smash attacks.
All right, and one of the things I wanted to ask, with regard to this matchup too, would you say that the character that you see Penguin is using right now makes it very difficult for Zaro's Arcane to get inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of that
zoning-wise.
Yeah, it has to do with the sliding movement, and of course the fact that Arcane also has some zoning tools, especially with his bubbles and the being able to set up those puddle traps as well to capitalize on air movement like quick attacks.
If Zaro wins the tournament, I want to buy an Arcane.
Yeah, this matchup historically has always been kind of
I mean, I still have money from the snow thing, but
back and forth because I always thought, at least when the game was new, that Orcane had a pretty big advantage over Absa. But unfortunately, I never thought Orcane has an advantage over Penguin. And now that Penguin kind of represents Absa's metagame in that he's always in the top 8 at every tournament, and he goes to all the tournaments, the matchup has kind of shifted back into Absa's favor, solely thanks to Penguin having such a good handle on it.
Yeah, I remember for a time, Dolphinberg was also causing a lot of trouble in this matchup against Penguin. But yeah, Penguin's just slowly making it work. Even against him, the down strong, not going to be enough to kill yet. We see Zaro trying to get the parry on the Cloud. He doesn't quite line up the timing. And because of that, Penguin makes his way back on stage. He's looking to capitalize off the Cloud ping pong, but Zaro stays airborne enough. But he's got no air dodge left. The resources are slowly gone. No puddle.
Yeah, that's a KO right there.
That's 1-1.
Yeah. The only thing he had left there was to either try to propel himself backwards with that forward air, because if you hold back, you just like bubble butts his way back onto the stage, or to do an orca jump. But both of those things would have to go directly through Penguin. It's just right there, ready to catch you.
Yeah, he decided. I think also he might not even have the height to get his forward air back on stage, so just opted to throw that one away. Let's get into the next game.
Yeah. So,
people are asking
like we
when
talked about earlier, it's now 1-1 apiece between them. Coming to Air Armada, though. This is a stage with some really small blast zones and a tough place to recover. It's the one level where the walls at the side of the stage don't actually go all the way down. There is a bottom side to the ship, and it can make it a little bit trickier to navigate when you're looking to wall jump. But it's Penguin that finds the first hit, already 81% onto Zaro. Zaro immediately claiming the center stage, hoping to set up a zone.
And you can see right here. Oh, wait a second. Yeah. That was such a quick stock deletion right there. Just like 30 seconds and already.
Yeah, that's
in such good position, Zaro.
That's one of Penguin's favorite ways to come back to the stage. He double jumps and throws out that Cloud on his way back. And using that exerts pressure on the opponent edge guarding and can set him up for his own kill.
Okay, got the parry right here.
And KOs. Right there showing how hard it is to DI Orcane's down strong. If you DI out, you die off the side blast zone. If you DI in, you die off the top. I think best DI is kind of mixing it up.
That's part of the idea, I think, with this counter pick for Zaro, is that it's such a small blast zone that even with that great DI, Zaro can rest assured he's going to get a kill with that at about 80% every time. But at the same time, though, we do still have the threat of the up air and the threat of the fair chance coming out for Penguin.
One thing to watch for Zaro to do as well is if you can wave land into a down strong on those top platforms as Orcane, it's going to kill even earlier. Right here again.
Zaro now up a stock.
Yes.
Yep, crowd going crazy right now.
Zaro.
That Zaro's in the lead here.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. That could have been terrible.
Oh, getting the full charge there too on the tech punish. Zaro barely disengaging to avoid the quick attack. We see Penguin trying to mix up his quick attack jolt, so it's not as easy for Zaro to parry or to crouch cancel. Zaro's just always out of way of the proper meaty punish you'd want at 130, but never mind. Penguin finding the roll punish there with the up strong.
Yeah, right now chilling at 60%. Right now, one stock apiece between both players. Zaro and Penguin. Again, this is going to be a better 5 setup between them, but all things are already heating up.
Like a Vulpix.
Look at that.
With the fire
Center from stage
and
pressure.
the ice.
That was a beautiful whip punish by Windows, and he's not Windows, Penguin, and he sets himself up for a carry. Can't take it all the way to the top, but already takes the percent lead.
Penguin right now in control.
But we had that puddle on the other side of the stage, and you always have to watch for the chance that Orcane will choose to teleport there as his recovery. But we're gonna find no sweet spots on either of those aerials. That's so huge for Zaro. And there we go, the sweet spot kick coming out from Penguin, taking that second game. But we see that huge exhale. We see the pressure that Zaro is able to put on our top players in Rivals of Aether.
I thought for sure Zara was going to walk away with that game 3.
Yeah, that was looking... He had so much momentum. It was just at that last moment. That's the thing about those clouds, is they can really pull out the rug from under you. If you're not ready for Penguins either be moving in while placing it at your back, or if you're trying to move forward a little bit too aggressively, forget that it's right there in the area. He can pop both of those in a moment and find his kill right afterwards.
Yeah, I think a big thing in Rivals and like Melee, watching that too, is a lot of the top players, they always imagine like they're going to win this match. So, like, you can never, even when a player gets high damage, you can never count them out, because in their head, they're going to play perfectly, they're going to get the combo, and they're going to finish it. So momentum swings so fast that, like, you need to basically, like, put your foot on the pedal if you want to close out on, like, a top player.
And it just goes into what makes Rivals so engaging. It is such a scary, stressful game. There is no safety blanket.
Definitely not. And now going into the 4th game, Penguin on the verge of getting into the winner's side of Grand Finals here at Genesis 7. It's an incredibly big deal, and it's just crazy to me how when you see the way that he's actually playing this character, right? Every time I would expect him to just try to stay far away, but he just has a really creative style when it comes to this character.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with his quick attack movement, right? We see him sliding off platforms with it, so he doesn't go into free fall, and that leads seamlessly into aerials, even if he hits his opponent with the quick attack itself.
Here comes some traps right here on the left, but Zara was able to get inside.
Yes!
And he gets it.
All right, Zara with the tiniest of leads, 140%. A single up air will do the job, so will the up strong.
Even getting a lead here, though, was impressive. When he was off stage, he looked like he was a fish out of water.
Beautiful option coverage. Zara was counting on Penguin having forgotten the puddle there, and Zara forgot about the cloud.
Yeah. And Penguin there covering the forward special as well if he tried to dash through him, so Penguin was all right going for that option.
And that's the thing that makes this matchup so tricky, is because of that Thunderline, the flexibility of that zone control makes it so much harder for Orcane to not be checkmated, essentially, in those edge guards.
Oh, and here comes the pressure again right now. It looks like Zara's just reacting to all the pressure on these quick attacks. And beautiful finish right there, getting that stock again.
And that's the sign that Penguin is starting to feel really comfortable, is when he just dashes back and forth through the opponent, because there's still a hurt box on that quick attack. He can still be challenged, it can still be crouch canceled, it can be parried.
And that up strong parry punish actually almost just KO'd right there for Zara. That's how strong Orcane's up strong is.
Yes.
That's a parry right there, and look at that, just gets the up strong.
50%.
Beautiful stuff.
That's how much you would save on
that initial droplet that Zaro fired is what let him find that shot, because all those different answers still puts you in some sort of whiff lag that he can then try to come in and punish.
Look at that beautiful movement that we're seeing right here from Penguin. It's so unpredictable.
Zaro finding himself that first string, and look at him just juking out Penguin's landings, right? Dashing back just slightly too far for him to land with a forward air, and finding a down tilt punish and starting again and again.
And these traps that we're seeing set too from Penguin are just so tricky right here. Like you said, the option coverage is paramount. Look at those juggles as well. Trying to see if he can come back on stage right here. Zaro, 121%, having a very difficult time. Both of these players on their last stock, but Zaro's definitely in a really bad position. And there you have it.
Penguin right there with the bait, right? Being directly under Zaro, knowing the pressure he's put on, and just saying, give me something to react to. I have this up strong, they'll poke right above and take this game for me, and he gets the parry from Zaro. These two players putting so much strain on each other, but that's the thing about Penguin, right? He might drop the first game, but that's note-taking, right? That's how he's this consistent. He understands how to use every bit of Absa's moveset in all sorts of ways. He can play the aggressor, he can play the zoner if he needs to, and from there he just figures out, all right, you like this style? I think my kit covers this perfectly. I just need to change it this way. I just need to focus in this matchup. I'll cover the option coverage. I'll make sure that your puddle always has a cloud nearby, and you're never going to recover safely.
Is it cake versus
the one big thing I'll say about Zara, that compared to other players who've gotten to the stage, he was scaring Penguin for a lot longer than I expected. A lot of times we'll see players with upsets, and Zara was able to kind of keep the momentum for a really long time. In every game, it looked like he had a chance to come out on top.
Yeah, I was very, very, very impressed with just the way Penguin was playing with this character. The entire time we're seeing Penguin just literally rushing down. It was so unpredictable, coming and attacking from all sorts of angles. And I just feel like even the pressure that he had at the ledge made it very difficult for Zaro to even just try to recover on stage. You saw amazing placement right there with those traps.
Yeah, and that's what makes like Rivals of Aether neutral so fascinating to watch. It's like a flinch-based neutral. You don't have that shield you can pull up and just wait when you're scared. You only have that parry that you have a split second to do. So when you're just having a player with such incredible movement like Penguin, zigzagging all over the place, just thinking, when's he going to come in? When's he going to come in? Sooner or later, you press a the button, right? You try to hit him, you try to defend yourself, and if he hasn't decided to come in yet, well, now he's coming now when you're in end lag.
Absolutely. And now we're going to get an opportunity to see some more amazing matches coming up very soon. The players are getting ready. But I have to say again, you know, just looking at the meta right now when it comes to Rivals of Aether, I noticed that you don't even have that many of the DLC characters in there. You know, when it comes to fighting games, right? DLC characters, whenever they get introduced, you see DLC characters tend to take over. But it looks like this is not quite the case. What is the approach when you introduce DLC characters to the game?
Yeah, so it's funny because earlier this year, so in 2019, somebody tweeted at me that DLC characters are ruining Rivals. And I just sent them the last major we had, which I think was Smash and Splash. There was like Eliana was like the only one who was in top 8. And then this tournament, there's no DLC in top 8. So I think all the DLC do have like an interesting style. We definitely looked at what we had in the game and kind of expanded out. In that we added Claren and Rano, and I feel like they're kind of our melee characters. So if you like Super Smash Bros. Melee, it's kind of like Marth and Sheik. And then we also did Eliana and Sylvanos, which are what I call Dan characters, in that they're just ridiculous and they do all kinds of crazy stuff. So they fill these roles, but with Rivals, like you can't really. I feel like any character can play any role. So those characters almost feel a lot harder to master and get into. So even though there are players who like them, we don't really see like these top players. We've seen them try them as secondaries, but we don't see them like hold on to them for very long. They kind of always go back to their main. We saw Penguin on Rano, but he's went back to Absa. Cake was playing Zetterburn, but I've never seen him really take out a DLC character seriously. So yeah, it's just interesting that the DLC characters, even though they are strong, they don't really define the meta.
All right, well, here it is right now on the stage. We have Cake Assault again, #1 player versus Windows. And interestingly enough, you know, one of...
What?
So I tend to broadcast every now and then, and one of my subs actually told me that, you know, he's a big fan of Windows and that Windows is a top seed going into this tournament. How do you feel are the chances right now for Windows against the likes of Cake Assault?
So there's an interesting story about this, actually. Last year, when Cake Assault was the clear favorite to win Genesis, right? The big reason for that was he looked nearly undefeatable. Only 4 players had set wins on him. 3 of them only won once. Windows won 3 times. He had become Cake Assault's demon. Cake Assault dreaded fighting him. You could see the spirit leave his eyes. But what ended up happening this season, Cake Assault is now 5-0 against Windows. He's figured out how to play this matchup because Windows can mentally exhaust Cake Assault uniquely. We know the guts that this player has. He wants to make plays, and Windows, knowing exactly when to pull back and let the opponent put their foot in their mouth, is exactly the sort of style that really frustrates him. But Cake Assault's really learned to dial it back. We're seeing it a little bit here on Ethereal Gates. He focuses so much on setting up the smoke, making it so much harder for him to be whip punished and slowly gobbling it to build up to his combust, where he can then take out Raster at incredibly low percent. That time, not even needing it and still getting the combust anyway. Windows needs to be careful once he's about 40%.
I like to think that Windows kind of turned Cake into the monster that he is, because when Cake first came onto the scene, he just had an amazing punish game. He was always hitting buttons. He was always, you know, aggression. And having to be able to defeat Windows allowed him to create like a full balanced style. And he's been on such a force since then.
We're having, this is really scary at 64%. There's a lot of things that Forsberg can do to lead into the full combust. He's got forward air, he's got down tilt, he's got dash attack, he's got up air. And if any of these moves aren't DI'd out, he could die. And right there, Cake Assault trying to land on top of Windows with the combust. He doesn't find it, but he doesn't really need to at over 100%. Raster being that bird with hollow bones.
Now, amazing 2-stock lead that we're seeing from Cake Assault. I mean, I've heard when it comes to the Rivals of Aether metagame currently, that Raster is a character that a lot of people have been having an issue with as of late. But it looks like Cake Assault, like you said before, you know, he changed up his play style and he's quite comfortable facing off against Raster, even though the rest of the community has something to say about this character.
It's interesting you say that because it's really just Blue's Raster that terrifies Cake Assault. And he no longer has to worry about Blue. He's going to be tier-free for the rest of this bracket, hopefully. Oh, and lining up that back air with the 3-stock Cake Assault, showing his dominance against Windows this year.
3-stock, ladies and gentlemen.
So after the last 2 sets we've seen with Cake, I always think losers or final state Cake is like terrifying, and he somehow always is in losers. But today he's just started out like so strong that it's gonna take like you're gonna have to slow him down and play basically just swing the momentum back in your favor for a chance to be able to beat him in a best of 5.
I have all the love in the world for MSB, but it's almost like he was the warm-up sandbag for KKSL going into this. Like the most comfortable matchup for him to then lead into Windows to take this even more comfortably than ever before.
Oh my God.
And here we are, though, starting on the Shovel Knight stage.
Come on,
and already coming out with so much power. I actually haven't really seen Windows go for this as a counter pick against KKSL. I assume he wants to use these top platforms, but they're also just so fantastic for leading into ladders. And Cake taking that first stock at 31.
I'm going to ask you guys right now, did he even have to do that? It looked like he wasn't even able to just like tornado back on stage.
He would have been able to reach the wall and then wall jump. And then get his up B back. So maybe even then, and then it also just sends a message. KKSL, a bit of a villain in the Rivals community. Oh my gosh, looking to send his clone down to maybe even spike with the explosion.
Right?
Is this a piece of cake?
The contingency plan right there.
Clap into clap though. Windows taking his first stock of the set.
I think Cake a year ago, we would have seen him go down there for that double dunk, which probably would have died doing as well. Now, a more mature Cake Assault's just sending his clone down, but got the kill anyway.
Yeah, and then he stays on stage ready to deal with Windows' next stock afterwards.
Yeah, right now. Oh man, these beautiful parries that we're seeing right here from Cake Assault. Cake Assault right now setting up. Not even using. Okay, there he actually using the clone there, making it very difficult for Windows to land.
Cake finding a beautiful confirm off that clone explosion. That's why it's so scary to deal with it. If you hit the clone, then the real Forsburn can then whiff punish you, and if you do nothing, that explosion sets you up for damage.
Okay, right now leading in. Trying to see if he can see center, and I love these juggles. We have the clone now. It's for the immediate combust. But that is it.
Cake Assault now up 2-0. This might be one of the fastest Windows sets I've ever seen. Even though Cake is absolutely dominant against Windows this year, Windows is usually able to still drag it out. He makes it a real contest. You can still see Cake have to focus and really bring out his best game, his best patience. But right now, Cake Assault is just leaping over whatever defenses Windows can put up and just tearing him apart.
Absolutely. We can see it right here. Just with
gonna be a
2 straight games of non-stop rush down.
What, Mom?
And you see Windows trying to see if he can put something together right there. But again, just immediately back in control, respecting that range. He doesn't want to get caught. A little bit of a juggle here that we see from Windows. Another opportunity. Cake Assault. I feel like, okay, opportunity right there. Doesn't get to actually get much off the parry, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, Windows spacing his air drift really nicely. It looks like he was looking to ledge cancel the parry stun, which is a really fancy maneuver.
Okay, again with the clone, he can go for the combust, but doesn't get much off of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the teleport, but it's launched again. Nice. I like how he tried to cover his recovery, too, with a clone. That was pretty smart.
The thing that was crazy is I think Windows thought the first Forsburn to make it onto the stage was the clone. Yes. He didn't even try to hit, and he jumped above it fearlessly and then got hit by the up tilt.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but already this pacing is much closer to what you were expecting with the Windows Cake matchup.
Take out the Cake.
Windows doing a way better job of kind of picking his battles as opposed to just kind of getting run over by Cake.
Oh, did you see that? Oh, I thought he was going to parry the explosion, but he didn't, punishing the parry whiff.
The thing that's crazy is, like, this is the same stage that Windows won against Cake Assault on at DreamHack Atlanta, and he did this, right? He stood on those far platforms, and he waited for Cake Assault to jump up to meet him. This time, Cake Assault is sending the clone, and he's taking his time on detonating it to fully bait out whatever Windows has in mind.
Yeah, clone is honestly one of the hardest projectiles to parry just because it's up to Cake to decide when to detonate it, and clone will just kind of hover around you. So even if it's in range, you can't really like parry the read too often, so a lot of players just choose not to. But the reward, if you can hit it, is pretty great.
Okay, that was an incredible read by Windows, knowing exactly where Cake Assault was going to teleport to, and getting the game to be near even, but still getting picked off by Cake Assault's crazy combo game.
Yeah, man, it's looking very difficult right here. As you can see, 86%. But at least both of these players are tied up in stocks.
Can't wait for Rivals
nice.
to switch.
Being able to try to cover the edge, but it's still able to just teleport right back on.
Playing Rivals is so fun.
Yeah, right there, the smoke clouds helped him because he had 2 clouds as options, and then he decided to go for Windows. It's really hard for Windows to predict where the teleport's going to go.
Right, because the important thing is that when Forsburn teleports to smoke,
that's a nair.
The first time he does it, he doesn't go into free fall. But Windows picking up the second stock, a small lead for him, a spark of hope perhaps to put his score on the board. Waiting for the down strong, actually getting a punish there, and getting a punish when Cake Assault tried to defend his own with parry.
Let's go.
Right now,
the way Cake is playing, he does not want to lose any momentum. He wants to close out this 3-0. He does not want this to continue into later sets that he has to play.
Oh, definitely. He wants to keep that momentum that we've seen him have right now going into this 3rd game.
Yeah, like historically, Cake Assault, when he makes these losers runs, he does it without dropping a single game. And that tends to be a blessing for his set in grand finals.
Coming through with the spin. Has to watch out. Great stuff. Trying to get the clap like you said before. Yeah. Jungle sees it. Good escape, but he gets the parry, and that's an opening. And he doesn't get much off.
But the big thing is you saw the smoke stacks leave Forsberg's body, right? That means he has to start building his combust from scratch again, which is huge.
Yay!
Here we go, the spike, gets the tech, but gets the parry.
Yes!
Right afterwards, Windows taking a game, keeping himself here in loser semis. He's going to make Cake work for it like he always does.
Yeah, we were worried of just seeing Cake kind of like run all over him, but like we said, Windows got the pacing the way he wanted and made the reads that he needed to in that last stock. Cake was bringing it back, but Windows stayed cool, which is what you need to do if you want a chance.
Windows.
Yeah, definitely. You have to stay confident. Trying to get into the grand finals, right? Of course, right now we're here in the loser semis. Again, these players understand there's a lot on the line. Not only when it comes to the money, right? These guys love the game, and they understand too that, well, at least on Windows side, that this is like the #1 player, and getting a great win on a player, of course, like Cake Assault, it's not like it's going to be his first time, but these wins count, right?
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, it would be such an important way for him to end this season to go back to the way it was last season, right? Yes. Where he was the one that terrified Cake Assault the most, to reclaim that and then still have this currently very strong presence against Penguin. Be a fantastic setup for Windows going into that top 3 if he could just reclaim that glory. But we're getting one of Cake Assault's favorite stages, Spirit Tree. We've seen how fast he can destroy stocks here. Even if he doesn't kill you off one of the small blast zones, he can just carry you back and forth and deal 100 damage real quick.
All right, and here we go now into a game 4 situation. And look at this, missing the juggle up a little bit right here, but things are starting to slow down a little bit in Windows' favor, I noticed.
And that's the tempo that Windows is at his best with. He loves being above his opponent. He loves frustrating them and letting them use up so many of their resources just to get to him, and then he can just pick and choose his openings from there.
Yeah, we have seen Cake do this in the past against Windows to show that he can play like the slow style and have Windows have to approach. But right here, it tends to be working in Windows' favor.
Yeah, great avoidance right there of the explosion of the
waits for the parry, finds himself the up clap right afterwards. Yes, Windows taking that first stop.
That up clap, man, you have to watch out, dude. So strong. Smash attacks in midair. Look at that.
Right
strong attacks.
That back air acting like a strong attack in the air for Cake.
You got to watch out for those sweet hits of the back air and down air. There we go, nair into down strong, flawless conversion there.
That's really clean.
And we see a little bit of aggression from Windows because you got to get rid of the smoke, especially when it starts being vertical, because you can't camp your opponent if you don't know where your opponent is.
Exactly.
That's what Cake starts leveraging here in the neutral.
That's why you have to be cognizant of the clouds and the smoke screen, right? You don't want to get caught by that. Beautiful movement right here, though.
Look at these jukes. Calls out the air dodge. Windows using his double jump, having nothing left but the clone, being that last distraction he needs to come back and kill Windows afterwards.
And that's why Cake loves this stage right there. Just a hit confirming into the back air, able to close the stock out earlier than Windows would have liked.
Yeah, working out super well for him. And here's the cloud right now. Trying to see if he can at least close us out. People want to see if Windows will be able to actually bring it to a Game 5 situation. But right now, Cake Assault with all of this momentum, still maintaining both of these stocks. Nice. Starting this off. And beautiful stuff. Cake Assault, 3-1 victory over Windows.
I mean, incredible stuff. Unfortunate to see the team Nevermore team kill right here. And unfortunately for Windows, he's going to be denied his bronze medal, his one big streak time and time again in Rivals. But like we said before, here on Finals Day at Genesis, Cake always looks untouchable, right? And he's going to keep going forward and forward with that into the loser's final set. Going to be having to fight Zaro, the person who sent him down here to begin with.
Yep, it's time for him to get that revenge, man. And those are one of the matches that I love to see, right? You get knocked to the loser's bracket from somebody, and you get the opportunity to actually run back to the best. But before we even get into that, let's talk about the last match and some of the highlights here.
To start it off, we had Cake coming in with his explosive aggression, jumping over so much of what Windows was trying to defend himself with. The first game being a 3-stock over Windows, something that we haven't seen in quite a bit. And the second game didn't end much better, but Windows did find a way to slow down that tempo there on Swampy Estuary, forcing Cake Assault to methodically work his way in on Spirit Tree, but of course Cake Assault able to make that adjustment all season and able to do it once again here on Finals Day.
Yeah, one big thing that we've seen in Cake this past year, like I said, he is a more mature player, and just his style has matured a lot. He started to show that he can play the patient game, but he's also using Force Burn specifically to play the patient game. We saw him at DreamHack Atlanta using a lot of smoke, what the community has been calling smoke camping, to kind of build up his combust. And he was showing that in the Spirit Tree match, where he was just like, I'm going to let Windows come to me, because if I set up the smoke and I set up on my side of the stage, I have great advantage here. So there's no reason for me to come over. I'll build combust once you get damaged. Before then, I'll just hide. I'll send out clone. So he's really using the Force Burn's Deception as a kind of like a zoning tool, because Force Burn doesn't have a projectile per se, even though clone kind of acts like one. But the smoke and the deception means he can play defensive against you and kind of force you to approach like a projectile would have forced in a traditional zoner matchup.
Yeah, that was actually really smart play that we saw right there from Cake Assault. But before we even get deeper into this RCS action here at Genesis 7, live from NorCal, we're going to go to a quick break. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us. We're going to have some more Rivals of Aether action after this. What's up, Genesis 7? We are back with more RCS Finals action here on the big stage. Cake Assault versus Zaro, and we have the run back right here for Cake Assault in the losers bracket. Was sent to Zaro, but this is not the first time this actually transpired, especially between both of these two players.
Right, at Big House 9, the same story happened. Zaro 3-0'd Cake Assault on the winner's side, but losers Cake Assault being an entirely new monster, the final form. Cake Assault then won 3-1 in the losers run back. So we might be seeing something very similar, because Zaro did beat Cake Assault really decisively in the winner's side, but I mean, this is losers, a finals day. What's more Cake Assault than that, you know?
Yeah, man, honestly, looking just at how things have been going for Cake Assault, that momentum that he had from the last game, quite scary. Just starting off with a 3-stop when he was facing off against Windows, to me that's a statement, right? This guy right now, he's here to play. He's the #1 player. For him to get sent to the losers bracket, sometimes people may feel like, oh, we're getting the read on this player, and maybe things will start to even out when it comes to the playing field. But how do you guys feel about that, looking at Cake Assault, especially like the level of his play in comparison to the rest of the players here? Does he still have the chance to get the W?
Yeah, so if we're looking at metaphors, at Glitch this past year, Glitch 7, I said that Cake Assault is kind of like our Mango if you compare to the melee scene. He's always aggression, he's always on, and loser Cake Assault is like loser Mango. You do not want to play that. Whereas Penguin is actually kind of similar to Armada. We discussed it before. It's very difficult to beat Penguin unless you are one of those top players, and Armada notoriously was always good at kind of keeping the other players away from that top echelon. So seeing these two kind of play to their roles, loser Cake just going on a tear, Penguin sitting in winners on grands is following the script. So let's see. Zaro is the one who wants to change the script. He wants to flip it. He wants to say, oh no, it's time for some new blood. And this is his chance. If he can take out Cake Assault again here, I think he has a real shot at Penguin, because he's going to have a lot of momentum and just a lot of practice. Coming in on winner's side in a top 6 means he didn't have as much like tournament matches as Cake has had. Cake has had MSB, Windows, now Zaro to go through. So if Zaro can take this, he'll have a lot of momentum to bring back into Penguin.
Absolutely. I feel like, you know, whenever a lot of times players coming from the loser side feel like there's a lot of work that is going, you know, like when you're trying to get into the grand finals, right? You have a lot of sets to have to go through. I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like when you have to go through all these sets, it's an opportunity for you to warm up, to build up that confidence that you're going to need to win the tournament, in comparison to a person who, if you're on the winner's side the entire time, you're going to cool off, right? You win your match, then you have to wait to see all the other matches transpire until you get your chance to play again. And right now, Cake Assault, for him to just be able to play back to back to back here, puts him in a really good spot. And now it is time. Losers finals here at Genesis 7. Cake Assault versus Zaro. Let's go.
Yeah, Zaro and Cake Assault immediately starting off with their respective projectiles. Zaro setting up the puddle middle stage and the clone coming out. And we have Zaro now shoving Cake Assault off stage, bullying him with that back air, one of the farthest reaches moves in Zaro's arsenal, but Cake just failing to recover entirely. Only 30% on Zaro to start off the set. I don't know, man. Like, we were just talking about how strong Cake Assault is looking, but Zaro maybe hasn't even dropped a beat since their first set.
It is there again, just like you were saying, man. He was able to set up to the losers bracket. Probably we might see now this is the opportunity for Zaro to not only beat Peak Assault in the winner's side, but also the loser's side. But it's a little bit too early to call it. I love that down strong finisher right there. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it close.
We saw Kikasol actually dash dancing right below the platform, waiting to bait out that falling aerial from Zaro, and that's what led him into that down strong.
Too good at
We have the bubble bath starting up by Arcane on the ledge. That's one of the strongest things to have to get past in terms of edge guarding, because she's a hitbox that's constant, and any way past it is such a heavy commitment that you can be punished for right afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah, the top players have gotten really good at parrying bubble. It's not really great in neutral anymore, but in those situations where you know your opponent has to be airborne, it's a very strong tool.
Here we go, Zaro waiting for that last teleport. Gonna catch the high recovery using the empowered up strong. When Arcane is right next to the puddle and he does a smash attack, the range like doubles on all of them.
Beautiful zoning right now that we're seeing from Zaro. And I was going to ask, when it comes to these two characters, do you think that Zaro actually has an advantage when it comes to the character matchup, or he just understands Cake Assault's style of play?
It's probably a mix of both. One of the big things that those bubbles do help, especially off stage, is we've seen it against the earlier matches, right? Cake Assault sets up his clone, uses it as a distraction to sneak his way on stage, but the bubbles don't care. They kill both of them no matter what, so Zaro doesn't have to play the guessing game.
Oh, but right now, here it is. Actually taking him down to his last stock, but he has so much damage right now. 118. Are we going to see a big combo? Okay.
No puddle on stage. Yeah, Zaro's got nothing, and he's going right down to the depths. That is the danger when you come back as Arcane. If you get shoved off stage before you get to set up that crucial puddle, that lifeline to the land, you are out of your jump, you're out of your air dodge, you're basically a dead fish in the air.
So what was interesting there was, at his height, obviously, he could have side special and gone for a longer, slow recovery. I think with this amount of smoke that was on stage, I think Zaro might have thought he might have had a puddle. I think he was like, oh, well, half the stage is covered. I'm not sure. I'm just going to up B here. He did not have a puddle. And that was it. That was the stock.
Deception working in every possible way. That's one of the trickiest things that can happen, is when the cloud covers essentially the critical stage resource of your opponent. Because if your Abster's like, wait, where's my cloud? Where's my puddle? Where's Lily? There's so many different things that you need to know where it is to play your character properly.
That's actually like super tricky right there. And Cake Assault unexpectedly taking that first game. And that was such an amazing lead right there by Zaro.
We're seeing Air Armada as Zaro's pick, and as I've mentioned before, Cake Assault is usually the player that counterpicks to these really small stages. But I think what Zaro's trying to take advantage of is really limiting the recovery options there. When you don't have a wall that goes all the way down, you can't wall jump and you can't make it back. And already Zaro taking the first stock off of that.
Absolutely, that was such a smart counterpick right here. You see how limited it is when it comes to like the surface area that is available for him to use a wall jump, just like you were saying before. Big juggle right here, but Zaro getting out of that.
Zaro finding that parry on the drop down, but not able to keep the combo going. Never mind, still putting up the pressure on the corner, and we're having those puddles ready to set up that bubble bath.
Kill it, murder it. Cold blood.
This is big. Cake Assault nearly dead off the top there at 100%. I don't think he's going to survive another down strong. Oh, just going to go for the dash attack for that parry punish. Cake Assault gets to live, set up his clone.
Yeah, and that clone giving an opportunity for a combo, but big stuff right here. And Zaro
he's got another stock ahead.
And Zaro's still on all three of his stocks, looking as unstoppable as he did in the beginning of that previous game, undaunted by that comeback that Cake Assault pulled off.
Yeah, even more so with this two-stock lead that we're seeing here. Controlling the stage so well, and manages to still come back
through the stage.
Yeah, that's what Force can do with the teleport up B, is he can actually still go through the stage.
That came out of nowhere.
Again. Was that the clone or him? I am not sure.
I've been watching Cake Assault for a year and a half now, and I still get mixed up. Oh, and the back air, though, going to take that first stock. Cake Assault setting up more smoke, and more importantly, getting that combust ready to go. If he's going to make a comeback, a confirm into combust will be one of the best ways to do it.
Beautiful juggles again. Look at this, making it very difficult. After all this momentum that we've been seeing from Zaro, Cake Assault right now on the tear, but there's a puddle on stage, so if he does knock him off, he's able to come back. Look at this, trying to cover the right side of the stage here, and
setting up the dash strong to hit both force burns, and that's what Arcane brings to the table. So often, he doesn't have to play that guessing game. He gets to just let the bubbles rip. He gets to let that sliding down strong smear a hitbox across the land of the stage and take out both of them at once.
He got fooled by the going under the stage to get as far in as possible once, but he wasn't going to be fooled again. He just waited back, and then as soon as he saw Kate come up, went for the down strong.
Zaro now with so much momentum after such a decisive game. I'm really curious to see what Keikasol will do, whether he'll keep tempting fate and going to small stage blast zones. These other ones, at least they have walls all the way down, so he'll be able to recover a little bit cleaner. But he's gonna need something new, and we're gonna get it, the Zetterburn. This is the character that I've seen him practice up specifically for blue, to have that projectile to keep the opponent right out of his face, and having that little bit of zoning kit, and also these empowered flaming smash attacks are gonna help him out a lot here.
The juggles, man. I love what we're seeing here too. It looks like he's definitely more comfortable right now, getting a lot of early hits. I'm surprised though that he decided to switch, thinking that at least in game 1, right, it wasn't too bad, but he was playing 2 the entire time, right?
And especially, yeah, the game 1 was like a very last second comeback, and the game 2 was so decisive.
Oh.
Yeah. It really felt like it was the matchup.
never underestimate his Zetterburn.
Right now, setting up the flames.
Yeah, don't underestimate his Zetterburn.
Using Shine to intercept.
Yeah, that's
oh my god,
that's
he's
terrifying.
reading that.
When you see that flame spark up, that happens whenever Zetterburn connects a smash attack with an opponent on fire. It like doubles the knockback, but right afterwards, Zaro catching that roll with an up strong of his own, evening things up.
Come on, Zaro, come on.
Okay, right now, trying to see if we can get towards center stage, but not quite happening here. A little bit difficult. I like the parry attempt. He's actually able to get something off of it. And again.
Yes, and this is something else that Keikasol's now utilizing. When you parry a projectile, it reflects the projectile, and that's nice, but it also gives you a second of invincibility. And Keikasol is using that second to find his opening with the rushdown character of Zetterburn.
Nope.
Right here has him off stage with no resources.
Yep, and I have to say, I think that's like a really healthy thing to do too, right? Makes it very difficult for Zonos to just stay back and stay comfortable. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you hold your breath every time the opponent's on fire, and for good reason, because one misspacing and they are gone.
No. Oh, God.
You look at all this momentum that we're seeing here from Keikasol again, right? We're not a stranger to seeing that. Trying to see if we can get that spot.
Yes.
Zaro with now the momentum, pushing Keikasol off stage and catching the dive. The only option Keiko would have there is to do the flip, and then even then you could get caught by a sliding up strong.
Yeah, Zaro did a really good job covering kind of all the landing options.
And right now we have Puddle on stage. Okay, beautiful juggles right here too from Zaro. Look at those traps. But, lucky the juggles again. Zaro has to watch out. Zaro currently on fire. And wait a second.
Oh, he does not close it.
Barely survives there. Orcane on the heavier side, and it really comes into play here, but he's not living that. Zetterburn, Keikasol taking game 3.
That was a lot of aggression there on that side. I thought for sure Zaro was going to be able to get back on stage, but Cake just kind of kept it up. Going for the back air into forward air, I don't really see that connect very often, but Cake looking like he has some Zetterburn tech that I did not know about.
It doesn't surprise me that he's been working so long on the Zetterburn anyway. Again, it was blue that was scaring him the most of everybody, and it was with Zetterburn that he was actually taking games off of that bird. His forest burn was not really doing it. So finding a use for him now against Zaro, perhaps not what he originally had in mind, but being able to make those moments count when he can get in on Arcane has been making a world of difference.
Nice.
But we have all these bubbles right now, making it difficult for him to land. And again, off of the parry, getting as much as he can. I love this stuff that we're seeing from Keikasol. You know what? At first, I was a little bit uneasy, but like you said, he actually has that tech down with this character and doing such an amazing job.
Here's the flip. That's the way you get over that empowered forward strong. But that's the thing. It's a world difference to get back to center stage from the edge in this game, especially when there's a puddle ready to catch you.
Oh, missed input.
So tragic for Zaro, and that's going to give Keikasol another chance. That's the other thing. Forest Floor is a stage with a very small ceiling, so if he gets lit on fire and up strong, that will be it.
Okay, nice usage of that puddle right there. It's a parry again.
Yeah, hits him with the projectile that time.
Yes!
Nice.
And Keikasol still DI'd that perfectly. Even though it was a Galaxy, he's never not on point with that.
So that's just threatening right underneath the platform, making it very difficult for him to cover the right side. But here we go again. Intense moment right here. Nice.
Catching the roll.
Yes.
And once again, another parry. Keikasol is so good at guessing when Zaro wants to use projectile pressure.
Still not getting the KO here, though.
The big thing is Zaro hasn't managed to be caught on fire yet. There we go. Finally dying at, what, 180%?
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have your opponent on fire, it can be difficult to secure those KOs as Zetterburn.
Exactly. Very, very important for him to go for that. And, you know, looking at this matchup, too, seeing how, you know, you have the puddle on stage, that can also just, like, basically let the opponent know where you're going to be recovering. So even though that can be an advantage as far as recovering is concerned, it can also be a disadvantage, too.
Yeah, because then we've seen it already. Cake Assault sliding across the stage in the previous game to corner Zaro wherever he went. Zaro not even afraid that he's on fire, throwing out his down strong. Might as well if you're going to die to get to any smash attack.
Okay, good movement, but gets the parry here.
Yeah, uses a jab to not get put in parry stun.
Yeah, and I love that Cake disengaged to the sky where he wouldn't be caught by any of those strong attacks. But he still gets cornered there with the down strong. The special move of it's Arcane's favorite way to kill you. It's 7 frames, it slides, it does everything on the ground, man.
It's the best kill move of Spaghetti Time.
Uh-oh, here we go. 1 stock apiece, 0% between both of these players. And look at all this momentum. Zaro just immediately coming out swinging, understands that he needs to be put into a Game 5 scenario because Cake Assault right now is about to basically repeat history from what we've seen at the Big House.
Yes, he's going to be able, if he manages to do this, he'll find himself to grand finals, and he's already putting on so much pain. But Zaro loses his flame, gets out of the way of the fireball. He uses his air dodge for it, but this means he's going to live that much longer in case he gets hit by a smash attack.
Well, right now, Cake Assault, who was able to put on so much damage already. If you look at the percentages, Zaro over 100%. Very scary situation. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, a 3-1 victory. Cake Assault does it yet again.
We saw how reserved Zaro was with that bubble butt, right? Just drifting backwards with that forward air. And the one time he brings out that game, Cake Assault already goes all the way to the other side of the stage and snatches it with that up strong. That was incredible.
Yeah, so what's crazy is right before we started, we actually had a Genesis hype video. And from Genesis 5, there's a clip where LBO caught Dolphin Brick by running away from him and upstronging. And what happens there is because you're going for the bubble butt, but eventually the attack ends and you still have momentum backwards. So the hitbox goes away, but you're still propelled backwards. And Cake was able to do the upstrong again and kind of repeat that KO, showing how strong it is to kind of bait out the bubble butt.
Taking notes from the previous best Zetterburn in the world. What a way to do it. But here we have bits of their previous set. We saw the Forest Burn try to do it and barely scratched by a game win, but the Zetterburn putting in so much damage, catching that bubble butt. We even hear bits of Cake Assault's pop off there in that last clip, that triumphant, yes! He finally made it to Grand Finals against Penguin, the traditional Grand Finals of Rivals of Aether as it is right now. These two guys, up until just this tournament, were undefeated in doubles tournaments for like the past 2 years. They would drop a set every now and then, but never the bracket until just 2 days ago.
Yeah, so if we're following the storylines of Mango and Armada being Cake and Penguin, then it's very fitting that the Genesis Finals will be Cake versus Penguin. I think the biggest thing I want to say about Zaro, though, coming in here is we saw how big that pop-off was from Cake, and then we also saw how close the set was with Penguin. I've never seen both of them, like, kind of so shook by, like, a player who's outside of, like, the top 4 of what we've seen at tournaments. So Zaro came in, being an online player, had a great showing at Big House, like we discussed, but he just kind of scares everyone to the point where I thought in both those sets that he had a really good chance of winning. He was up in games on Penguin. Penguin was able to clutch out, up in games on Cake Assault as well. The Zetterburn did not look like super 100% win for Cake. It was very much looking like it could have gone either way. So congrats to Zaro on 3rd. That's a huge placement. I think he's going to have a great year if he's able to attend more events in 2020.
Absolutely. It looks like he's going to have a great season ahead of him, but now we're going to be going into the Grand Finals, and of course, Rosalina, take us away.
Probably an Abza or a friggin'
The more things change, the more they stay the same. The path only had one true ending, and we have it here. Grand Finals of the finale of the RCS event. Number 1, number 2, Cake Assault and Penguin. I have but one question for every single one of you in the crowd and every single one of you at home. Are you ready for Rivals Grand Finals?
Woo! Grand Finals. This thing's been running for a while.
Please welcome back to the stage from loser's side, representing Nevermore International, the #1 player in the world, Cake Assault!
Dude, he's assaulting all the cakes. Let's go, Cake! I'd rather... I like Cake a lot more than
and of course, sitting in winner's side like we see oh so often, the #2 player in the world, Penguin!
Penguin!
This is it, folks. 17K pot bonus on the line. Only one person will take home first. Guys, take it away.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. the grand finals here at the last stop in this season of the RCS. Cake Assault, the #1 player, and Penguin #2. We have the #1 and the #2 player both on stage right here, but nobody wants to get second place. There's going to only be one winner here. And the question I have for you guys, of course, you know, looking at what's going on over here, do you think the chances are high for the #2 player to actually take out Cake Assault?
Actually, yes. Because here's the thing, these two guys have been taking tournaments from each other back and forth across the season. We started Smash and Splash 5 with Penguin taking it over Cake Assault, and he did the same thing at Glitch. Meanwhile, at SmashCon and at Heatwave, we had Cake Assault and DreamHack Atlanta taking it over Penguin as well. And the thing is, when they meet each other, we can't emphasize enough that these two aren't just a fantastic, nearly unstoppable doubles team. They're the best of friends. They know everything about the way the other one plays. Every given day, it's about what mood is he feeling? Oh, he likes doing these wave dash jabs? All right, now I know exactly what I got to bring out to stop that. And as a result, we always get game 10 sets from these two guys. But whoever wins that last game 10, it's anyone's guess, because Cake, you know, he can take a set, but taking 2 in a row off of his biggest doubles partner, I don't know. It's anyone's game now.
Yep, just like you were saying, you can see these two players. It looks like they're really great friends, right? Just smiling. They're really happy to be here in the grand finals, and it's not going to be a matchup battle, right? It's more like you're playing the player and understanding each other's just habits straight up.
It's definitely a player battle. One thing that's funny about these two is they've played together so much, both in friendlies and tournaments, that they honestly just have like a 5-set stage list that they pretty much always go through, to the point where when one of them wants to change it up, the other one is like surprised that they want to change the stages. It's like, why would you not? We always go, you know, Tower into Merchant into Temp. Like, they basically have their list. So it'll be interesting to see how they do striking.
All right, guys, before we get into this, if you want to see Cake Assault take it, make some noise!
Woo! Cake.
And if you want to see Penguin take it, make some noise.
He's still NYC Craig.
Pretty even, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we've got a
Both these players have such flashy styles, D1, like you alluded to earlier.
Yes,
we have
sir.
Cake Assault and his aggression, his deception with the smoke, and we have the mobility, the flexibility of Penguin and his electric ABSA. It's really, everyone loves to see these two guys go at it time and time again. But right now, we're starting out with Cake Assault, with that stage control, with the % lead. But the thing is, the moment that Penguin gets him off stage, he can line up these sweet spot forward airs into forward airs and just destroy stocks, even if they're at like 30, 40%.
Yeah, right now I could just see the familiarity
Look at that.
as these guys are taking it to each other here on the stage. But the big opportunity to get the parry, you're probably going to see a lot of those, knowing that they understand each other's play styles very well.
Yeah, that's something that they actually count on. We saw in the middle of the previous neutral engagement, Penguin wave dashed up to Cake Assault and did nothing, because I think he expected a parry to come out and that he was going to punish it, and instead nothing happened. And what happened right there? I guess they're just a little
slowdown.
Yeah, a little bit of slowdown on the setup, but they're not going to stop. Or now that it's gone, they're going to keep going.
Okay.
A lot of times that random slowdown is like from something with like a USB, just like loading up right then. So hopefully that will be it.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, wait a second. Definitely something you see every day. Here we go.
Penguin disengaging, using the cloud to try to especially control the clone movement coming out from Cake Assault. Because, I mean, you know the clone can't ever parry that cloud. That's one of the big fears of ABSA. If that cloud gets parried, even though it's a projectile, it doesn't get reflected. Instead, ABSA goes into parry stun, proportional enough to how far the opponent is so he can be punished. But still finding the conversion into the up air, Penguin taking the first stock of Grand Finals.
Right now, just controlling that ground.
Yes.
And wow, the big opening so quick. Just split-second reaction from Cake Assault. Trying to keep it close here with the stocks.
Single joint quick attack to find the quickest hit. Not going to get too much more. We're seeing Cake Assault lean back more and more, pull back in his aggression, waiting for Penguin to give him the opening that he can jump down on with his punish game.
Beautiful dancing movement right here. And going super deep. Nice. Doesn't get the KO, though.
Incredible DI from Cake Assault to survive that. To be able to not only not die to the last forward air, but still survive the up air right afterwards.
Nice.
Wow, and right there again, talking about DI, you see those combust kills real early.
But still, Penguin maintaining that stock even afterwards. And there's the KO right here.
Yeah, the late hit up tilt into up air is something that no character can avoid. No matter, even if you're at around 100%, it's just such a clean conversion. And it's the reason why coming at ABSA from above is so hazardous. Why you kind of need to let ABSA kind of come to you instead of jumping into her.
I really love seeing how Penguin just makes it easy for him to recover on stage as well with Absol, right? Setting up the traps.
I'm not going to record it.
Setting up more and more smoke on the screen. Cake Assault wanting to slow down the tempo of this game and not getting too impatient too about his opening, but the fastball through the platform, even though he's in parry stun, Penguin manages one little trick to stay alive.
Oh my god, beautiful parry right there. So fast, and the up strong again.
But here we go, full combust. Cake choosing to use it for that smoke screen, wanting to force Penguin to get rid of it, which means that he's throwing clouds up where it can't hit Cake Assault. He's throwing hitboxes that can be whip punished.
Clouds are around, but he's not even letting him get the opportunity to even absorb safely.
Yes, perfect harassment coming out from Penguin. Recognizes what the win condition is for Cake Assault right now. It's a confirm into a combust.
Okay, smoke is out, avoiding these Penguins. But Penguin coming through again. Right now, looking at the percentage differential too, everything right now is in Penguin's favor. You're saying that both of these guys can take the W. And this is still the first game, by the way, guys.
We see the flashes of their respect for each other, right?
Yes.
These neutral resets where they just dash dance in mid-range, too afraid to start the joust quite yet because they know what the other one is capable of doing if they're wrong.
Oh, I love that. Going in with that down tilt. Has to watch out. Nice patience here.
Doesn't get the down throw. Right. Penguin just barely DIs above it.
Okay.
We have the clone sneaking in through the smoke.
I did not even see that clone until it popped.
That's the thing. Because, you know,
that does it, the back air.
I want to talk about that clone, right? Because we talk about how good of a projectile it is, and you notice, right? Every time the clone comes out, you have that little ghostly sound effect. But when Forsburn is in the smoke, not only can you not see him unless he does a normal attack, right? You can't hear anything he does, and that includes making a clone. So when he dives in there, you don't know. Like, he might have come in alone, but you now have made a friend.
Yeah, and especially when like only one comes out, you don't know if you went in and made it, and then also if you commit too hard one way or the other, even though the clone doesn't like it's just regular hit pause, committing to an attack like that can set up for a punish from Cake.
Right, because Cake might be on the edge of the smoke waiting for you to do something, and sometimes it's actually just Cake running out of the smoke and you think it's the clone. Well, here we are going to rock wall, very small side blast zones, and a lot of land to play with. This is a stage that Penguin found a success with, especially at Smash and Splash, where he just wave dashed across the ground, jabbing and tech chasing over and over again, and just taking Cake Assault off the side as he just bullied in there, peck by peck.
The thing to look out for from Penguin on this stage is he likes to kill with a down tilt from Absa, actually, just because it's so right on the edge of the level. If you DI that out on rock wall, you're going to die pretty early. Just because that's good knockback. And
the reason you want to DI it out is because there might be a forward tilt, and if you DI that in, it's a free up air or up smash, and you die.
The mix-up potential right there is just absolutely incredible going into this stage, and just like you said before.
There we go.
There it is. Okay, gets that KO, and man, I guess as far as the blast zones are concerned, man, he's able to just like capitalize off of that.
Yeah, those lightning kicks do not mess around. But the thing is, Forsburn still has that back air, right? We've seen that kill so early as well. But he's going to just use that reverse hit of the up strong. Cake Assault taking advantage of that parry, immediately retreating to that top platform. But it's so scary when you have that up tilt able to poke through just barely.
Beautiful respect right now. You notice how it feels as if Cake Assault has to play a more grounded game, you know, respecting the projectiles that we're seeing put out on the field here by Penguin.
Yeah, especially part of the idea is that he wants to stay grounded so he's able to parry at a moment's notice, and that will give him his opening.
And then he's able to actually play as freely as possible. Clones out.
Looking for something to convert off of, but the cloud was in the way, and Cake Assault didn't want to tempt fate. The Cape not connecting there, but he finds the back air right afterwards. Cake Assault now up a stock.
Uh-oh. Smoke City right here. Look at that.
Can we reset it? Come on, Cake.
And like, you know, it looks like he's trying to fix himself into a potential reset, but right now, here it is. Striking back is Penguin.
Whenever you see that, you just know they weren't ready to DI at all. It's basically a critical hit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was dash dancing, he was moving, he was not expecting to get caught by that forward air.
Oh, keeping it going. The clone not able to keep up that pressure, though.
Okay, nice. Gets the pressure finally off of him here, Penguin. With that back air. Nice. There's the respect again.
Oh, my goodness.
He's setting up, and Penguin knows what he's looking for.
Oh, he tries to wait for another parry, and Cake Assault doesn't give it. He does another down tilt.
Also,
beautiful whip punish with just the cape getting
I'm
more and more of this
excited for
damage, and the sour.
Ooh,
No,
yes.
it was the spike hitbox coming
Cake.
together. Cake Assault taking that second game.
That was absolutely remarkable play right there by Cake Assault, like you said,
Cake.
right? Making sure that he stays grounded, having access to the parry just in case he has to deal with these traps that we see from Penguin right now. A potential reset from Cake Assault, #1 player in the world, battling his best friend, his best doubles partner as well. But right now, these two have to do battle here on the stage, and we're about to go to a frozen stage here in the third game.
Come on, Cake. Come on, Cake.
I don't think Penguin wants to lose with a 3-0 going into this grand final so early.
Yeah, this is an interesting pick because it's such a big stage. This is normally where we see players go if they want to just draw out a game like this. Is one of the Windows' stages, right? He roosts up there on those top platforms. So it's possible that Cake Assault by Penguin is recognizing how approach-averse Cake Assault is and is trying to meet him there. It's like, all right, you want to wait? Let's wait forever. Let's go to this large blast zone stage and duke it out. And we're seeing Penguin sticking to the top platforms, waiting for these whips on the ground and diving down to find these aerial openings.
The thing about this pick, though, is Cake loves this stage. If you go back to any of the Genesis highlights, he almost always gets wins on these stages because he uses the platforms, carries you up to the side, and back airs you off the corner. So I wonder if it's something where Penguin has been practicing this stage particularly because he knows Cake likes it, to the point where Penguin wants to use it as his counter pick.
I mean, we did just have, the rock wall turning out to favor Cake Assault so much there. Maybe they just practiced on each other's counter picks this whole time.
It seems like that could be possible.
Ooh, beautiful follow-up by Cake Assault. That platform height, perfect for the down strong follow-up.
Oh, but coming through here with the aggression again is Penguin, but very interesting just seeing how right now a Cake Assault maintaining this lead here.
Forward strong, covering both the real deal and the clone, and setting up the living bomb, and there we go. Penguin taking out that stock.
Yeah, he could not come back from that one.
The only way to stop that thing from ticking is to hit Penguin while it's going, and he has so much great movement, and there's still so much else you have to consider. It's so hard to do.
Another thing I just realized about this stage pick is the kind of the situation we're in where we're going into a reset. Let's say this is Cake's #1 stage and he loves it.
Yep.
Penguin going this stage is actually really smart because if he can outplay him this game, it eliminates the stage for the rest of this set. So therefore, he wouldn't have to play on this counter pick. So he thinks, okay, if I lose this, we'll just go in the reset, that's fine. But if I can win this, now I have 2 more matches without having to play here.
Right, yeah, and it's just such a momentum swing as well to beat your opponent on one of their favorite places. But that back air taking Penguin down to his last
We're seeing
stock.
it why is one of his favorite right there.
Yeah. Especially, like you said, dropping down from those platforms, those back airs, those down airs. There we go. The spike forcing very narrow range of recovery, but Penguin sneaking on, but not for long, being caught with another parry and combust, ready to go. 70%, you can absolutely die if you're caught near the edges of the stage, or if you're popped up a little bit too high. And we have Cake Assault looking very patiently for that one opening.
Oh, he just does it neutral.
That's the guts we come to see from this guy. Catches the real deal. I thought that was the clone.
With the thunder.
I don't know how they know. I don't know how they always know.
I mean, this is definitely why these guys are occupying the top 2 spots when it comes to this season of the RCS.
Gonna find the parry, looking for these tech chases at early percents, not able to get the second tech roll in.
These two have played each other enough where it's gotten to the point where Penguin might know what Cake's clone is doing better than Cake does.
You kind of have to if you're in doubles. The tech off of the combust. The tech of a lifetime. Can Penguin keep it together and take back this game? He's done such a great job avoiding death time and time again right now on this last stock.
I feel like that tech was definitely a sign that he has the will to still continue to keep fighting, even at 140% here on his final stop.
I mean, this is that awkward moment, right, where Absa being one of those light characters, you can't land those 2-piece confirms, but you can kill him with a stray hit. Cake Assault finding that down air, winning 3-0, resetting the bracket, and putting in a powerful message against Penguin here in this second set.
Yeah, that's a huge win for Cake. I think, like we said going into it, when Windows did start to slow him down, that kind of was making me nervous because when Cake was coming in against MSB and just steamrolling, he wants to keep that steamroll all the way to like 3-0, 3-0. Just give me the trophy. But what Penguin needs to do now is kind of act the same way Windows did. Try to slow him down, try to get him uncomfortable, make him have to play neutral a bit more than he likes because Cake's punish game has been on point this whole day.
And we saw that attempt start to pay him through in that Frozen Fortress game, right? Like it was the closest game. And a lot of that was that slowdown, that stalking the top of the screen, using that superior air floaty movement that Absa has for his openings. But Cake Assault doesn't have fear in those same moments that Penguin expects right there, that parry. That's what Penguin has wanted this whole time. And that is why. That is why he always waits in front of Penguin's face, so that he in front of Kikasol's face, so he can go ahead and get those fair strings all the way off the side of the screen.
I can't believe he landed that last fair.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's madness.
The string, I'm like, okay, this is good. This is Penguin. This is good. The last one, I was like, air dodge fair? No.
But we got the down tilt back here immediately afterwards by Kikasol. And just like that, things are just as even though we had such a powerful start by Penguin. Here we go. Tech chases. No, just lands, throws out a hitbox, stops Penguin's game plan in its tracks.
Game's so fun.
Yeah, there was no letting down. Like, even if Penguin right there taking that huge stock, and you're like, okay, now let me slow down a bit. Cake was not letting him.
Thunder kick.
Traps out and about here on the right side of the stage. But beautiful stuff. Cake still able to find quarter here, but gets juggled yet again. Trying to mix up things here, but look at that. Just such great guarding right here on the edge.
We just saw Kikasol teleport into Penguin charging an up smash. Yeah, that is what happened. Kikasol is crazy. Ooh,
yes!
Beautiful follow-up. I love that. He chases the cloud trying to parry it the moment it's released, and eventually the cloud overtakes him.
Such beautiful spacing, too, from these players, man. The familiarity is, like, super paramount.
I love their movement on this stage, too. The platforms are giving both players opportunity to kind of style.
We're seeing, actually, Kikasol running back as he sees Penguin start up quick attack, so he's able to react wherever Penguin ends up to try to punish him. But Penguin there, able to juke him just that extra little bit, finding this edge guard, finding the tech chase into the out smash. Beautiful stuff.
That was a really good tech chase setup.
It's equal.
Okay, a lot of smoke right now for him to absorb. Has to watch out.
Just tech chasing out of there, but we're seeing it again. Kikasol, when he's in those situations, he's just throwing out down tilt.
I felt like he just set up so beautifully well right there for that down air too.
Yeah, Penguin able to get out of that a lot quicker than I thought he would.
Oh, that could have been a combust. Kikasol wasn't ready for it, though.
Oh, back air.
Yes!
Beautiful combust.
I'm surprised that didn't purple because of how high they were. There was no DI that looked like it was going to save him. If you DI that out, you're going off the side. If you DI that in, you're going off the top. So
that radial knockback of combust is so hard to deal with because you need to know in that split second what the angle is that Forsburn has on you and decide how you need to DI that. Because, like, you might know, the combust is coming, but the exact spacing changes everything.
Yeah, that was a damned if you will, damned if you don't situation that we saw right there. Beautiful mix-ups and Kikasol. 4 straight games of just non-stop domination. I mean, it looks like it is close, right? It really looks like Penguin still has a chance. I mean, we saw a beautiful string in the opening game of this after the reset, but yet still, Kikasol being able to take it, that's something, man.
Yeah, Cake on last stock has just been playing incredibly clutch.
Oh, beautiful catch up the double jump, and Kikasol was so not ready for that.
No.
Blown right off the top. Penguin taking an even earlier lead here at 17%.
An early lead, barely taking any damage as well, but seeing the things that Kikasol was able to string together before the previous games lets me know that this is not going to be an easy battle here for Penguin.
Ooh, finding himself the start of something.
Yeah, so far in this Grand, it's been Cake who's been all clutch factor, kind of pulling the last stock together he needed. We've seen Penguin able to do that as well. When Penguin is able to take off of Cake this year, he's always having a great last stock.
Absolutely, yeah, that's what we also saw, again, at pretty much every Grand Finals these two guys have met at. But here we are. Wow, Penguin with an incredible DI, avoiding that down air. The drift's so important right now to keep this thing going, but Kikasol ready again with the parries.
But such great read on the high recovery right there, intercepting with the back air, tying up the stocks.
But right now, Penguin isn't flustered at all. Just relying on his movement, just as Kikasol is taking his time on the other side of the screen, putting up that smoke, wanting Penguin to make that first move and whiff.
I feel like we're seeing a little bit more reserved, like conservative gameplay right here from Penguin, right? He's zoning a lot more. There's a lot more Penguins that he's putting out on the stage.
Oh, yes, and it really pays off there, being able to go ahead and combo, get that ping pong effect into the up kill.
Great respect that we're seeing here. He understands that he's going to have to switch up his style and not get too close to Kikasol, who's been getting a lot off of these down tilts in neutral.
Yeah, and it has to do with the fact that Kikasol is just sitting back, letting the smoke cover him, and that's why we're seeing the cloud come out more and more as a zoning tool. It's not only a way to kind of more safely poke at Kikasol, it slowly gets rid of smoke patches here and there, making his camping less effective.
Okay, clone out, but immediately blows it up. Okay, nice juggle, and there it is.
That's
Beautiful stuff by Penguin, winning very cleanly there in that second game. So important now to finally stop the momentum of Cake Assault. We mentioned it a whole lot in his losers run, and this is maybe where Penguin gets to start talking and gets to really start forcing this into a match in his favor, where I think we're gonna be on our way to a game 5 if this keeps up.
Honestly, yeah, the way things were looking, it was almost as if it were actually a one-sided conversation, right? 4 straight games. People who were watching probably might have thought that we would have just seen Cake Assault go for a straight sweep, which would be actually really tough for a lot of players' mental. But Penguin, keeping it together here, has their mental fortitude to keep on fighting. And now, this is Cake Assault's counterpick going into this 3rd game in the 2nd set of the Grand Finals at Genesis 7.
This is Blazing Hideout. This stage has massive side blast zones, like the biggest in the game, but a normal vertical one. I think what Cake Assault is remembering is those fair strings, right? Being carried to the tip of the blast zone and finished off by Penguin in both of the previous games. This stage helps mitigate that risk.
Oh my gosh, I'm putting that cloud out right there near the left side of the stage, right at the corner. Catching this recovery. You can notice Penguin trying to recover above the clouds. He doesn't want to go straight into it.
Late hit up tilt, nothing follows up afterwards, and Cake Assault has another moment. And that's the other thing about this stage that Cake Assault can really abuse is because Forsburn has such fantastic aerials to drop through, like that drop through back air and nair. He gets to really abuse that with that long platform in the center of the stage. And Cake Assault already killing Penguin right off the top, getting himself the whole smoke screen and some early start on his combust.
Yeah, that looked like a really unexpected back air too. He just kind of like swung at him so fast that it didn't look like the DI was there.
Here we go, the pokes of that cloud, so frustrating when you're trying to recover because you can't parry it in that situation. You only get a single air dodge.
Nice avoidance right here. Cake Assault on the assault, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, we've seen him crouching a lot of the clouds here too, because if he misses the parry or you don't get as much lag. So just parrying a cloud can be a lot safer. Okay,
that was actually a mix-up. That Thunderline, we saw Cake Assault expecting a pop. That's why he parried, and because of the longer startup, there he went.
And that's one of the things that a lot of top players like to do, right? You switch up the timings barely to throw your opponent off. And as you can see right here, parry is definitely a great gift, but it can be a curse if you miss the timing. And because of that, Penguin was finally able to take that stock.
Here we go, the stocks nearly even. Penguin in a comfortable position, trying to juke out Cake Assault's approaches, but we see Cake Assault time and time again leaning on that down tilt to win out those ambiguous exchanges.
Yeah, we actually saw a beautiful display of Penguin being able to just like bring the percentages so close, but reeling him in and ending it with the up strong right there is Cake Assault, putting Penguin on his final stock.
Yeah, this would be huge for Cake Assault to once again take control of this set, get back counter pick advantage in case this goes to a game 5. And he has that combust ready to go, but Penguin comes out swinging.
With the down air.
And he keeps on going to not dropping this. Forced to use that smoke screen to recover. That way he can teleport in there, not going to free fall, even set up a clone.
Okay, great repositioning again, staying on the platform. Okay, juggle, nice DI out again here by Penguin, trying to keep the stock.
The back air not gonna kill the side blast zones this time, saving Penguin's life. Once again, DIing hard out. Penguin playing his DI perfectly to the stage he's given.
Almost a scary situation, but looks like he doesn't have the clouds, the smoke absorbed anymore. Clone coming out, getting the explosion on it.
Using the parry, there we go, just going immediately afterwards with the down strong. I think Cake Assault was expecting something hitting him, recognized that actually, no, this is his moment, and throws out his fastest strong to take control of the end of the game. Cake Assault now up 2-1 against Penguin.
Yes, on the verge of being your Genesis 7 Rivals of Aether Championship Series champion right here.
Yeah, this would be, if Cake can keep it together here, this would be the second win for him. So he definitely wants to keep no other Genesis champions other than him in full stream. Penguin, on the other hand, he's like, no, I want my championship. This is my year. And he has a mountain to climb to get there.
Yeah, this could be the beginning of his legacy, like Brozo was saying. It all just matters right here. Air Armada, another tiny blast zone stage. And it's going to be so scary to recover. We've already seen it in previous sets because of how limited that wall is on the side. Just
like you said, man, he's not going to be able to get those wall jumps that he's going to need to come back here. And look at how Penguin is playing right now. You can tell that he's not ready to give it up just yet.
I see him gobbling up that smoke already. 2 smokes in his belly. That way when he gets... No, never mind. The parry makes him lose both of them. And still, Penguin looking to stock on that landing for that high platform. Doesn't find it.
Backer.
Oh, gets the parry right here on the Penguin, though. Good avoidance, no explosion.
Yes.
Okay, he's not able to come back either.
Yeah, he gets so scared because of the clone's presence on that side of the stage that Penguin kind of has a forced error there. Doesn't make his wall jump.
Yeah, drifted away before he did the wall jump, so that's death.
Here comes the chase again. Down tilt's out. Nice pressure. I'm loving what I'm seeing here from Penguin. Okay.
Oh, finding the poke with the pop and not going to take out the real force burn.
Such great
Nice
aggression
air
right here.
dodge.
Absolutely.
Such careful recovering using those platforms, spreading the smoke wherever he can, eating it as he can get.
Getting the absorb.
Yep.
Okay, showing a lot of great respect right here to Penguin. He's just lurking, looking for the openings. Scoops him in, gets the up strong. Not enough of the stock, though.
But here he has the combust. It's not going to kill Penguin with the perfect DI. Going straight to the far corner.
Yep, even if he's not getting the KO, he's getting a lot of good damage, and he's just making it even more difficult for Penguin to end this. But here comes Penguin. Okay, no, he doesn't get the finisher right there. Good avoidance by Penguin.
And the scary thing for Penguin
Yes,
right
back here.
gets the down over. The scary thing for Kikasalt there is because he had eaten up all his smoke for the combust, that was some neutral he had to play without any deception, right? That was him trying to find the one moment he had to set everything back up, and he found the back air. He gets the smoke back up, and he has Penguin on his last
Yeah,
stock.
he feels the momentum shifting. The Aramata is like turning into Cake's favor.
The wind in many, many sails right now.
And watch, just avoiding that trap. Good wall jump here, and big
That's
hit.
it.
Did it.
Yes, Cake!
Ladies and gentlemen, Cake coming from the losers bracket is your Genesis
Yeah.
7 Rivals of Aether champion.
Cake!
We finally have it once again, though. That tradition that Dan said, only
Cake.
Kikasalt and only Full Stream get a win here. Kikasalt now with his second Genesis victory. I believe tying Full Stream now, right? 2-2
Yeah.
apiece. And it's going to be Penguin once again getting second place. These same duo, this same matchup, kind of the story of this whole season. It's gone
Cake.
back and forth, constantly swinging, but Kikasalt was able to pull the matchup in his favor right where it counted.
Yeah, this was a huge match for both of them. Penguin actually in second place last year at Genesis as well, falling to
That was
full
so
stream in
good.
grants, and both of them coming
Yes,
from winner's
Cake.
side. And not only that, he had in both the sets, he went the distance. He was able to kind of get it back, start swinging things in his favor, but the clutch factor of both Cake and Full these last 2 years was able to just push him over the ledge.
Absolutely impeccable gameplay right there, too, from Kikasalt. Just seeing how he barely gave up any games, man.
Yeah.
Just like, and even in the losers bracket coming into the grand finals, we saw the matches where if he was facing off against a player, you could see the disparity right there, right? The big gap when it comes to the level of skill that is being displayed. Kikasalt, #1 for an absolute reason right here at Genesis 7.
Oh yeah, his play, like, that's the thing that's kind of beautiful at Rivals is that skill ladder has so many rungs. You'll watch it in bracket, like somebody just body someone, they play their next round, you watch them get bodied instead, and over again up the bracket. There's always a new layer to understand. There's always new mix-ups that potentially happen because nothing ever really feels perfectly safe, and we're seeing the meta constantly shift as all these players keep on growing. We have now, like, within many of these top players, they're starting to adopt a more patient approach to neutral, right? They're starting to understand where can I be to apply pressure, to make my opponent blink, where I can find my opening. Before, they wouldn't even wait for that. Just go in, swing in, and just find their punches. But we're starting to see this game grow and grow and grow, and I can't wait for perhaps Series 5, where things keep going from here.
Oh, it looks like we might have a bit of a leak right there. Just kidding.
I'm
mean,
just
now
maybe
that-
wishful thinking.
Now that the two players are tied, I feel like there has to be a fifth finals because we can't leave it with Cake and Full at 2. They're both going to argue forever about who's the best.
Yeah.
Although now watch, we'll have another finals. Someone else will win and they'll still argue forever. So it's great to see Cake get that claim. Penguin's so close yet again. It always feels like Penguin is just rising. It's going to be the year of him. But let's kick it over to the winners. And Broza, take it away.
What a start to the day. What a top 6. Let's give it up for everybody. And here's why we're here, the hardware. In 5th place, MSB and Blue.
Yes, my boys. Craig.
Take your time, George. In 4th place, Windows. your bronze medalist, Zaro.
Yes! Very good showing with the Orcane.
Your Genesis 7 runner-up, Penguin.
So close, man. But cake.
And of course, as we all expected, I'm sorry. Your Genesis 7 Rivals of Aether champion, your RCS season champion, Nevermore International Gaming, Cake Assault.
Cake Assault!
And guys, we're going to throw back one last time to our casters. They're going to wrap for us, and Melee is on the way.
Now, I know you guys are excited for Melee coming up, but back to Rivals of Aether. This game is absolutely amazing, and it's a great pleasure to, of course, have Dan sitting with us right here in the seat. You know, we don't usually get this opportunity when it comes to a lot of other games, but it's so beautiful to see the support that you keep on injecting into this game, and with this amazing community of gamers, of course, that just loves Rivals of Aether. But a question that is on everyone's mind right now: what is next for Rivals of Aether, Dan?
Yeah, so honestly, I did not expect Rivals of Aether to be a tournament game as long as it has, even to been working on it as long as we have. It's been a really long road. We've had a lot of cool highs. We just added workshop characters in September, and while that's still in beta, we even had a workshop bracket here at Genesis, and that was a ton of fun. We've been working on a lot of stuff, but I think it's time, we're getting close to the end, that we really want to finish up Rivals of Aether and tie a bow on it. So with that, we have a little special tease for you guys, and we're going to kick that off.
What do we have? Openings back? Openings back? The opening's back. Is there any added stuff? Because, I mean, sure, our first 4 characters, but... Oh my god, I haven't seen this opener in a while. Oh my god, the opening's back. And it looks crisper. Yeah, that's crisp. Yo! Yes! Woo! Oh my god, yes! My boys! The dog! Busta Wolf! Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Yes! Oh my god, yes! Yeah! Ooh, new art! Yes! Oh my god, yes! Woo! Oh my god, yes! Oh my god, yes! Shovel trouble, yes! Woo! Are you cosmetic? Wait, that was more in it. This. Four players online, yes. Oh my god. Oh my. Okay, I'm allowed to curse now. Fuck yeah. You know what? Summer? That soon? Oh my god. Oh.
That's right. There's finally a light at the end of the tunnel. The light is this year. I know we've been promising it for a long time. So Rivals of Aether will be finishing it up on both Steam and the Nintendo Switch. We're very excited for you guys to get to play. Especially, I know a lot of people, they've told me online, basically every day somebody tells me online that they're waiting for Switch. I know a lot of people want to hop into this game. They've seen the tournaments. They know of the game. They want their turn to play. You'll be able to do that later this year. The Definitive Edition is jam-packed. It's going to come with all the characters that you just saw there.
What the fuck?
It's got some new cosmetics to unlock, and we're really excited. We're going to tease some more over time. So you saw some glimpses of some new cosmetics there, some Lovers of Aether references.
Yes!
Yeah, stay tuned. So check us out on Twitter, at Rivals of
I've said
Aether.
before.
Follow me, at Dan Fernacey.
Claren is
And
hot.
yeah, Rivals of Aether is only going to get better in 2020.
Oh my god.
I can't wait for summer, man. I can't wait for summer.
Oh my god.
It's,
Anything else?
Okay, so like I knew obviously we were gonna get everything unlocked, all the DLC, but the aesthetic stuff, oh my gosh, I lost my mind. But we have finally the bunny piloting the mech. I can't wait.
What?
Yep. We're real excited. So yeah, stay tuned for more Rivals of Aether.
bunny?
Coming up next, we got Melee and the Melee pre-show. So keep here for Genesis 7 action.
Piloting the mech? I think that's it. That was... Okay, give me a sec here. I've just gotta say, that was amazing. What was that? What was that? I wasn't expecting that at all. My boys on Switch with cosmetics. Why is Parsec open? No. Oh my god, that was so good. That was... Rivals is a masterpiece. It is my favorite game of all time, and nothing will ever change that. That is confirmed now. You know what? I also noticed I have literally no Smash stuff on my walls except for Sakurai right there. Oh my god. What was that? I've just gotta say, Dan Fernacey has done something oh my god. Okay, role model indeed. And I mean, like, he put his dog in his fighting game, and I'm just like, yes. I can... Oh my god. I guess that's it, but see you guys next time. Have a good noon. I certainly will. Oh!